A woman casually tossed a marble and unexpectedly blew herself into another world. Not only was she tortured and beaten, but they also wanted to perform a group activity with her. The excruciating pain all over her body left her confused. Moreover, she had become a true blind person. This shocked the woman, seeing the man's lecherous expression as he came forward to grope her. A cold smile appeared on Luo Qingtong's lips. A group of people actually want to assault me. Very good. Luo Qingtong was originally the only supreme pupil art master of the 24th century. Her pair of blood pupils had seen through all the illusions of the world. Unexpectedly, she was murdered and transmigrated into this woman's body. She strangled this piece of trash whose brain was ruled by lust. Activating her supreme pupil art, her powers also began to recover. Luo Qingtong casually tossed aside the man in her hand. Her graceful figure flew towards the crowd. You want to assault me? Let's see if you're qualified. She was like a reaper in the darkness. In an instant, she reaped their lives. A mouthful of blood spurted out, making her realize this was not her body at all. So heavily injured. And where in the world is this place? Suddenly, a stream of light flew towards her. She instinctively dodged the attack. The explosion of the light stream sent her flying. She supported herself with her palm on the ground, her body soaring into the air. With a side flip, she landed steadily on the ground. The aftershock of the explosion made her overburdened body cough up blood repeatedly. She elegantly dodged the incoming stream of light. These people's attacks were comparable to a particle cannon. Since when could humans possess such power? She hid behind a rock and circulated her blood pupil. The power of these people made her wary. In her current heavily injured state, she was no match for them. The masked man was also speechless. How did Luo Qingtong suddenly become so strange? We can't let her go. Luo Qingtong must die. Luo Qingtong was currently sorting out her thoughts. She had thought she was in some unknown jungle on Earth, but now it seemed this was not her world. This felt so melodramatic. She never thought she would encounter transmigration. She looked back at the masked men who were in hot pursuit. If it weren't for this body being too weak, these people wouldn't even be enough to fill the gaps between her teeth. When she saw the formation that suddenly appeared before her, Luo Qingtong beamed with joy. This was truly like someone sending a pillow when you're sleepy. She activated her pupil art to see through the principles of the formation. She plunged headfirst into the formation. At this moment, a man was soaking in the water, and the man also noticed Luo Qingtong, who had barged into the formation. He inwardly screamed, "How melodramatic." The man looked at her with a pair of cold eyes. There was not a trace of light in them. So he's a blind man. The man didn't pay much attention. Luo Qingtong pinched her chin. Although I can only see the outline of this physique, I never thought I'd have such a perk. The noisy sounds from outside reached the man's ears. The man's cold eyes narrowed. This made Luo Qingtong panic. What if he throws me out? She suddenly moved forward, covering his mouth with one hand and pressing against his waist with the other. Handsome, this is an emergency. Let me take refuge here. The man was unperturbed. You're not blind. Luo Qingtong played dumb, insisting I really am blind. A flash of anger surged in the man. His eyes gradually turned icy. But Luo Qingtong was taking advantage of him. Her hand roamed back and forth. Handsome, you've been staring at me for so long. Could it be that you've taken a fancy to me? She was the world's only supreme pupil art master. Yet she was blown into another world for casually tossing a marble. And now she was shamelessly taking advantage of a handsome man. The smile on her lips showed how much she was enjoying it. Suddenly, she froze. Her roaming hand seemed to have poked something it shouldn't have. In an instant, the air froze. The man's eyes glinted dangerously. Luo Qingtong shouted, "It's a misunderstanding. As long as I'm not embarrassed. The one who's embarrassed is someone else." She suddenly discovered that her severely injured body had healed. With a mischievous smile, she looked at the man. "Aren't you also healing then? You can't move even if you want right now." The man looked at her with an icy gaze. The spring water suddenly began to boil. The power in the spring water was being absorbed rapidly. Luo Qingtong sensed that something was wrong. This oncoming pressure made her fly out of the spring. Handsome, mountains and rivers don't meet. We shall never meet again. What happened just now was an accident. I wasn't intentionally teasing you. After saying that, she winked. The man now felt like he was about to explode with anger. Luo Qingtong was relentless. "I saw you naked, so I'm at a disadvantage too. The man's aura was on the verge of going berserk. She turned and fled. Not only did she get her verbal jabs in, she also got an eyeful. The man sneered endlessly. Very good. This is the first time anyone has dared to treat me this way. At this moment, Luo Qingtong's injuries were healed, and her crippled cultivation had also been restored. Unfortunately, she couldn't remove the poison in her eyes. A pig was stubbornly biting her clothes. With a foolishly cute look, her beautiful face was full of smiles. You should go. I don't have time to take you with me. She's here. The masked man's shout made her freeze, and the little pig took the opportunity to bite her finger. A wave of dizziness washed over her. A mark appeared on her forehead and the pig's butt, then slowly faded. The irritated Luo Qingtong grabbed the pig and roughed it up. The masked men were catching up. She had no choice. Luo Qingtong turned back indifferently. The masked men exclaimed in shock. Her cultivation is restored, and she broke through to the martial warrior realm. She must have a heaven-grade mystic pill. Luo Qingtong smiled coldly. Without explaining, she turned and left. The little pig muttered under its breath. A bunch of country bumpkins. A heaven-grade mystic pill is trash compared to a Nibao leaf. It's useless. That leaf's essence could turn even a waste into a genius. This stupid woman being chased by trash is embarrassing enough. Luo Qingtong grabbed the endlessly chattering pig. She was about to make pork and vermicelli stew. The little pig looked pitiful. It immediately admitted its mistake. I am one of the ancient gods. Don't kill me. I'm your contract beast now. If I die, your strength will be greatly reduced. Luo Qingtong had no intention of killing it. The hunt was the priority now. She fluidly prepared her hidden weapons, looking down from above at the masked men searching for her. The masked men splitting up gave her an opportunity. Without any hesitation, she took them down one by one, transforming into the god of death in the dark night, ruthlessly reaping the lives of the masked men. With a stylish finish on the last strike, the masked men who arrived were utterly shocked. A mere martial master instantly killing a martial general. Just as the man was about to order everyone to retreat, Luo Qingtong had already appeared behind them. Needles rose and fell. Blood splattered 3 steps away. The masked men fell to the ground without a sound. The masked man trembled all over, his eyes filled with terror. Luo Qingtong was full of disdain. Better to stay and keep them company. The masked man fled in a panic. What awaited him was still death. Just as she was searching for spoils of war, the man silently appeared behind her. The crossbow is not bad. No power fluctuations at all. It seems even ordinary people can use it. The next scene made the man furious. Not only did the woman bathe with him, she also teased the man. Now, she was even touching a corpse. The man couldn't help but feel a surge of jealousy. Suddenly, she felt a cold wind blow by. It scared her so much her jaw dropped. Why did this great god chase me here? Luo Qingtong got up and took a slight step. The man's cold eyes stared at her intently. She turned to flee, but ran straight into a barrier. Her head made a thudding sound. Luo Qingtong couldn't be more flustered. Handsome, what a coincidence. The man reached for her with a cold face. Handsome, let's talk this out. Don't get physical. The man didn't listen to her explanation at all. Luo Qingtong's heart suddenly jolted. She activated her pupil art and dodged the man's outstretched hand. The man's eyes flashed. She can break through my aura lock. Looks like I have to get serious. Luo Qingtong thought she had made a clean getaway. A figure flashed in front of her. This scene let her know that she had no chance of winning. She had nowhere to run. The man swooped down towards her. Suddenly, she had a flash of inspiration. A wicked smile appeared. She swayed unsteadily and stumbled forward. The man was stunned. He stopped in his tracks. This pause allowed her to fall right into his arms. The man's entire body tensed up. Luo Qingtong's hands roamed over his body. Handsome, you're so persistent with me. Could it be that you've fallen for me? Although I'm not that easy, seeing how handsome you are, I'll reluctantly accept. Luo Qingtong's red lips pressed against the man's, feeling the sweet fragrance of Luo Qingtong's breath. Those soft, tender lips. The man suddenly pushed Luo Qingtong away and took the opportunity to retreat. She didn't forget to tease him. I didn't expect you to be so innocent, handsome. Fate brings people together from 1,000 miles away. Thanks for seeing me off. Bye-bye. Damn this woman. Thinking of that scene just now, a strange feeling stirred in his heart. On the other side, Luo Qingtong looked like she had survived a catastrophe. The little pig also admired her for daring to flirt with that man, and she touched her own red lips, feeling it wasn't bad. She licked the corner of her lips and patted the little pig's head. Now tell me, what exactly are you? A talking pig demon? The little pig slapped the woman's hand away. It glared angrily, indicating it was one of the ancient gods. Luo Qingtong looked at the little pig with disdain. It acted as if it were martial Tianpeng descending to the mortal world. Don't look down on me. Back in the day, even the phoenix and the divine dragon had to call me brother pig. After a long while, Luo Qingtong's brows furrowed. What is going on with this world? Why did I come here? When she saw that her face was still her own, she felt a little relieved, remembering the things she had just looted. A token appeared in her hand. A sharp pain shot through her mind. A voice echoed, "Dark Guard token, Tianyu Empire." So it was them who harmed me. Luo Qingtong clutched her head in pain. Who are you? Who's speaking? She was originally the #1 beauty of the Easternly Kingdom, the eldest daughter of the Luo family in the Jinghua Marquis mansion. Unexpectedly, she was harmed by her own younger sister. When she was young, Luo Xingning was weak and sickly. She used her own resources to nurse Luo Xingning back to health. Only then could she cultivate martial arts. She never expected her sister to be so ambitious and ruthless. She couldn't believe any of it. In terms of strength, Luo Xingning was no match for her. In terms of beauty, Luo Qingtong was the #1 beauty of the Easternly Kingdom. Her snake-like sister not only crippled her cultivation, but also blinded her eyes. She even had the servants violate her. The true genius of the Luo family could only be her, Luo Xingning, not this unchaste, crippled waste. Luo Qingtong saw everything. A wicked smile appeared. Very good indeed. The little pig was also stunned by the aura she was emitting. Luo Qingtong's body radiated a murderous aura. Since I've taken over this body, this immense hatred must be avenged. Luo Xingning, I'll remember you. And you, the Yuan Imperial family. To break off the engagement, you actually sent people to hunt me down. Luo Qingtong's mother suddenly disappeared, giving Yuan Mo an opportunity. He himself was weak and sickly since childhood and unable to cultivate. It was her mother who saved him and made him who he is today. Luo Qingtong clapped her hands with a smile. Since you want to play, I'll let them know. The so-called chosen ones are worthless in front of me. She licked her red lips with her tongue. It's been a long time since I've been this excited. It's more interesting to torture the prey to death slowly. Seeing her bloodthirsty face, the little pig was too scared to even breathe. To treat her eyes, she scraped off her bloody tears and used her pupil art to analyze the poison's principle. This made the little pig full of admiration. Nothing could hide from her twin pupils. The poison that blinded her was actually a jiao. The intention behind this poison was truly sinister. Refined in the correct order, it's a healing medicine. But if reversed, the conflicting properties turn it into a potent poison. Luo Qingtong couldn't help but ponder. This kind of poison, even the Tianyu Empire would have a hard time producing a single drop. The little pig's eyes were full of mockery. Who else would want to harm you besides the Tianyu Empire? How hated is this woman? Since I can't figure it out, I won't think about it for now. She threw away the poison in her hand. I should go find the antidote. Not long after she left, the man arrived in pursuit. He never expected a mere martial master to be able to evade his divine sense search. Suddenly, the man was stunned. He found that drop of poison. What is the identity of this woman who was poisoned with jiao? Luo Qingtong wandered through the mountain forest. She didn't find a single medicinal herb for the cure. The little pig mocked her. You think that's cabbage? The herb for jiao are extremely precious and hard to find. Suddenly, a loud bang. The little pig's face was filled with terror as it called out to Luo Qingtong to run. She grabbed the piglet. What have you been hiding from me? Who would have thought this white-haired young girl had the heart of a viper? To prevent her brother's marriage, the 7th princess, she actually sent people to murder and humiliate Luo Qingtong. Yuan Shui sat there anxiously, facing her brother's questioning. Yuan Shui retorted loudly, "A mere young lady from a lower-class marquis mansion. Why are you so hung up on her, brother? The #1 beauty of the Dongli kingdom? She is not worthy of your status. Besides, compared to that person, she suddenly realized she had misspoken. Her courage failed her, and Yuan Mo's face darkened. He stood up abruptly. That's enough. Yuan Mo looked at her coldly. I have matters to attend to. I have no time for you, although I don't like her. She is destined to be my princess consort. On the other side, Luo Qingtong lifted the little pig. What have you been hiding from me? Sweat dripped incessantly from its head. A deafening roar echoed. Luo Qingtong looked up at the sky. A huge palace suddenly appeared out of thin air. A divine beast chased after Luo Qingtong. She ran for her life. Why is it chasing me? Is it because of you? The little pig was a mess of snot and tears. No time to explain. This is a heaven-connecting divine beast. After hearing this, Luo Qingtong felt like killing the pig. The appearance of the immortal Shreo ruins attracted a group of cultivators. Luo Qingtong narrowly dodged an attack. "You damn pig, what did you provoke?" The divine beast sped towards Luo Qingtong. She flashed into the crowd. "An emergency. Eliminate evil for the people. Great heroes, it's all up to you now." The screams from behind made the two even more terrified. The little pig explained that these cultivators couldn't hold it off. "We need to find our savior. Follow me closely." The loud noises behind them continued. Luo Qingtong followed the little pig, running wildly. She came to a screeching halt. A man was standing in front of them. Now she really wanted to kill the pig. The little pig said guiltily, "The only one who can save us now is him." It pushed Luo Qingtong forward. "Hurry up and seduce him." The man turned around. "It's you." His handsome profile, his cold voice. Luo Qingtong was now like an ant on a hot pan. "It's over." The roars from behind were getting closer. After an internal struggle, Luo Qingtong immediately put on a pitiful expression. "Handsome, save me." The man found it amusing. "Why should I save you?" Luo Qingtong opened her mouth and said, "On your inner thigh, near your little brother, there is a..." The man's eyes suddenly turned sharp. Spiritual energy gathered in his hand. He shot out a blast of spiritual energy. Luo Qingtong narrowly dodged it. The heaven-connecting divine beast was hit by this attack. It was sent flying. "My inner thigh, there's nothing there at all." When he turned back, the place was already empty. The man's face was incredibly dark. He was tricked by her again. The heaven-connecting divine beast was in pain. A battle between man and beast was about to break out. The escaped Luo Qingtong was secretly pleased. She had tricked him 3 times. Thinking about it, she was quite something. Suddenly, the ground rumbled. With a shocked expression, she fell into a deep pit. How arrogant is this woman? The immortal's trail inheritance that others begged for became a burden to her. Deception rating, 5 stars. Don't try to fool me. Luo Qingtong's fall was a miserable one. A sound like a pig being slaughtered suddenly rang out. "Master, save me." Hearing this voice gave Luo Qingtong a headache. She looked up. The little pig was tied to a platform up ahead. The platform had its own formation, carved with the totem of the heaven-connecting divine beast. This formation and that heaven-connecting divine beast outside. Luo Qingtong wanted to slap this stupid pig to death. So it was all because of him. I couldn't help it. I was originally sealed here. When the heaven-connecting divine beast returns, neither of us will have a good end. You and I are already contracted. Master, you can't abandon me. The little pig cried its eyes out, looking incredibly pitiful. But Luo Qingtong had already seen through its nature. The woman activated her pupil art to analyze the formation. She struck at the core of the formation. Overusing her pupil art left her exhausted. "Haha, I'm finally free." In the formation, the little fragrant pig jumped up, ecstatic. Just then, a cold and ancient voice suddenly rang out. "How dare you, you little beast!" A pagoda appeared and smashed down on the little pig. Luo Qingtong was suddenly startled. "You broke my Lu Immortal Palace's formation?" The old man sized her up, secretly surprised. A mere mortal, and a blind one at that. Luo Qingtong was unconvinced. "My eyes are blind, not my heart." Breaking the formation was nothing. This made the old man laugh wildly. "Your aptitude is excellent. I'll take you as my successor. You just need to revitalize my Lu Immortal Palace." Luo Qingtong crossed her arms. "I don't want to. Thank you." The old man was certain. Luo Qingtong was unyielding and even seemed disgusted. She turned to leave without a second glance. "Do you know what the Lu Immortal Palace represents? It will allow you to look down on this entire realm." Luo Qingtong stopped. "Just this realm? Does that mean there are stronger enemies? I don't want trouble." The old man suddenly stretched out his finger. "It's you." He pointed at the center of Luo Qingtong's brow. As the inheritance began, high above the clouds, the immortal palace suddenly collapsed. UNMO and his men had just arrived, but they found that the immortal palace's inheritance had been taken. He couldn't help but curse Luo Qingtong. It's all this idiot's fault. Dragging her feet, still looking for that Luo Qingtong. Luo Xingning saw the man's disgusted gaze and trembled with fear. The heaven-connecting divine beast suddenly appeared behind them. The roar made everyone turn around. Flames gathered in the divine beast's mouth. It crashed down. Flying sand and stones landed beside UNMO. "Don't move." Luo Xingning was accidentally injured, a sharp pain in her arm. The man flew past her from behind. The spiritual power fluctuations between the man and the beast were world-destroying. He sent the divine beast flying with one blow. The onlookers were incredibly shocked. Heavens, how can there be such a handsome and powerful person? The spiritual power in the man's hand gathered again. His icy gaze swept over the crowd. The sharp, killing intent in his eyes silenced them. Luo Xingning was infatuated. He's perfect. This man is truly perfect. I must have him. Only he is worthy of me. Will someone please slap this white lotus? She conspired with others to harm her own sister, and now she's forcing her grandfather to hand over the family inheritance. Inside the Luo family residence, the White Lotus and her people knelt on the ground, hearing that Luo Qingtong had died without a complete corpse. Old Master Luo slammed the table and stood up, his face turning pale. Qingtong's life is unknown. Instead of looking for her, they are kneeling here, demanding that I pass the inheritance to Luo Xingning, making her the official successor of the Luo family. Old Master Luo was furious. Only by handing over the family treasure, the recommendation letter to the Great Qin Saint Academy, can we use the Saint Academy's name to protect the Luo family status. Old Master Luo was so angry his eyes turned red. Qingtong's body hasn't been found. Even if it is, what's hers is hers. No one can take it. All of you get out. The White Lotus rose gracefully, a cold smile on her lips. Since the soft approach doesn't work, we'll use the hard one. I'm afraid you don't have a choice now, grandfather. Old Master Luo's eyes widened as he collapsed onto the table. They were clearly forcing him. On the other side, Luo Qingtong was receiving the inheritance. Right now, I only ask that you pass on my sex inscription technique. This is my sex treasure. I will help you refine them. At this moment, in Luo Qingtong's sea of consciousness, the pagoda is named the 9-layered exquisite pagoda. Generations of my sect have been waiting for you. You must comprehend it well. The life and death sword was the root of my sect's destruction back then. Be extremely careful when using it. Luo Qingtong couldn't move right now. She cursed the old man for being so wicked. This was a forced sale. The old man knew what she was thinking. I don't have much time left. Just take pity on me. Luo Qingtong composed herself. The amount of information was too overwhelming. After a long time, she slowly opened her eyes. Her meridians were all clear. Her essence flowed endlessly, forming a self-sustaining cycle. This was a promotion to the martial king realm. The old man had been guarding her side. With your personality, you should repay kindness with kindness and hatred 100-fold. When you go out, you should conceal your cultivation to avoid attracting trouble. The old man's earnest advice. For some reason, she suddenly couldn't feel angry anymore. You old rascal. Luo Qingtong felt a wave of confusion. I cannot cure the poison in your eyes, but I have left a trace of power. When you circulate this power, you can temporarily recover your sight. It cannot exceed 2 hours a day. That pig is ferocious and cunning by nature. It is extremely evil. Even we don't know its origin. You must be careful. The 9-layered exquisite pagoda is its nemesis. If it disobeys, refine it. Do not let it escape. Luo Qingtong watched the old ancestor's dashing figure. A strange feeling stirred in her heart. By accepting this Lu Immortal Palace inheritance, I have accepted its past. A helpless sigh. She lamented her fate. Suddenly, a cowardly cry. Master, save me. This made Qingtong summon the pagoda. This damn pig actually dared to lie to me. Now it knows to cry for help. At this moment, the little pig was screaming as it was burned by the flames. Master, you can't just watch me die. I'm about to become a roasted suckling pig. Qingtong directly ignored it. Roasted suckling pig sounds pretty good. The little pig hurriedly explained. I just wanted to break the seal, but the contract is still valid. Don't abandon me. Qingtong was unmoved. The little pig was truly scared. If you don't believe me, use the contract seal to suppress me. I'm still your stupid pig follower. Luo Qingtong used the seal and confirmed it wasn't lying. The little pig was running around in panic. Qingtong retracted the pagoda. You can burn a little longer. This is the price for deceiving me. She stretched her waist. Her graceful figure drew an arc. It's time to go back to the Luo family. The man's life was uncertain because of her. But the woman tore open the man's clothes, looking like she was drooling. Not only did she grope the man, she also forcibly kissed his lips. Qingtong wiped away the sweat she couldn't see. She finally climbed out of that hellish place. With a snap of her jade-like fingers, a fragrant roasted, suckling pig fell to the ground. Qingtong swallowed her saliva and rubbed the little pig. The little pig's hair stood on end. It hugged itself. Keep your saliva to yourself. I've seen through you. Qingtong's expression turned grim as she summoned the pagoda, scaring the little pig into repeatedly admitting its mistake. The two of them arrived at the core of the battlefield. Qingtong didn't expect the man to be so powerful. The heaven-connecting divine beast is a type of ancient divine beast. The little pig was displeased. That big-headed beast. It's far worse than Lord Pig in my prime. Qingtong's face was full of disdain. A pig that only knows how to brag. A strange sound caught Qingtong's attention. Following the sound, she came to the bottom of the valley. The man was covered in blood. He's not dead yet. So much blood, but no external injuries. Then why is he unconscious? Qingtong opened the man's clothes, but found no internal injuries. She grabbed the man's wrist. She was utterly shocked. Half of his meridians were broken, and the other half were rapidly breaking. The little pig's eyes widened. The heaven-connecting divine beast could injure him this badly? Qingtong explained. 1/3 are old injuries, the rest are new. To fight the divine beast with this body, this man is not simple. She thought to herself, last time he was healing in the spring, was it because of the old injuries? If I hadn't absorbed a part of it, you should have healed. Qingtong sighed. I owed you before. Now I'm paying you back. She activated her pupil art and pointed her finger at the man's waist, healing the man. As long as she repaired the main meridians, she could suppress the injuries. After a long time, she trembled all over. As the repair was completed, she collapsed. Is this man made of iron? His meridians are so tough. Although you threatened and forced me before, I've saved your life now. From now on, we're even. Don't come looking for trouble with me again. The next second, the man opened his eyes. Qingtong was startled. A curse word escaped her lips. She fumbled around, with a strange cry, under his shocked gaze. Their lips pressed tightly together. The man's cold lips made her feel ashamed and angry. I'm going to die. I'm going to die. She pushed the man away with both hands. A thud. The man was indifferent. Again. It's this woman again. He fainted weakly, looking at the fainted man. Qingtong was stunned. It seems like she did this. The little pig was so scared its soul almost left its body, pulling Qingtong to run. Now her reputation as a lecherous woman was sealed. She screamed internally. Damn it, I was a virgin too. Just as she was about to leave, she suddenly stopped and walked over to the heaven-connecting divine beast. The sound was coming from the divine beast. She pushed aside the divine beast's paws. A little fox was lying there. Qingtong picked up the little fox cub, which snuggled into her arms. This made the little pig feel a sense of crisis. She bit her finger and made a contract with the little beast. Before leaving, she set up a concealment formation. After all this trouble, it's time to go back and find my dear sister. I wonder what her reaction will be when she sees me. In the White Lotus's room, she was smugly caressing the treasure in her hand. The maidservant was flattering her. Young miss, you are uniquely talented and exceptionally intelligent. Not like that Luo Qingtong. This pleased the White Lotus. A servant suddenly ran in a panic. Not good. The eldest miss is back. This shocked the White Lotus. What? The woman who survived death has returned. The evil woman. Not only did she have people beat her to death, but she also cursed Qingtong as shameless and despicable. A slap landed on the evil woman's face. Second aunt, you have some good tricks. So eager to silence her. The woman was stunned by the slap. She incited the servants to attack her. Qingtong moved lightly and dodged. Another slap landed on the woman's face. Second, aunt wants to eliminate the witness. Even if grandfather finds out, it will be too late, right? Seeing her mother being humiliated, the White Lotus's fear grew. She was clearly crippled. Why has her strength recovered? As expected of a concubine who became the main wife, she only knows dirty tricks. The woman trembled with fear. Is this still that weak Luo Qingtong? She kicked the woman's head, stepping on her directly. Only then did the White Lotus speak up. Big sister, what are you doing? Qingtong's eyes were cold. The clown hiding on the side has come out. Only then did the servants realize. It really is the eldest Mississippi. My dear sister, I've really missed you. The White Lotus was stunned by the aura Qingtong was emitting. She subconsciously stepped back. Luo Qingtong, how could this stupid woman talk to me like this? Her expression and aura are completely different. The White Lotus shouted, You're not Luo Qingtong. Qingtong slowly walked over. After walking through the gates of hell once, how could I be so stupid as to not even know how I died? Luo Qingtong, my dear sister, don't you think so? The White Lotus's eyes were filled with panic. The man woke up, forcibly suppressing his explosive anger. Two streams of light flashed. They knelt on one knee. Your lordship, we were late. Please punish us, master. The newcomers were his right and left hands, Bei-chin and Feng-yu. After a long silence, Bei-chin quietly looked up. He saw the bite mark on the man's lip. Bei-chin was so shocked by this scene that he cried out, "A bite mark!" Only then did the man realize. He touched his lip. His eyes suddenly turned sharp. An incredibly terrifying killing intent emanated from him. That woman. Who does this look like it was bitten by? Bei-chin's words earned him a cold glare from the man. Bei-chin was about to speak again, but Feng-yu covered his talkative mouth. Master, how are your injuries? We sensed that your internal injuries were not good, so we used a secret technique to rush over. If it weren't for the concealment formation above the cliff, we wouldn't have been late. Are you all right? The man circulated his spiritual power. What concealment formation? Bei-chin struggled wildly as his mouth was covered, making muffled noises. Feng-yu quickly sent a voice transmission. Shut up, you idiot. Do you want to die? Only then did Bei-chin realize and became as quiet as a chicken. The man focused his mind. He circulated his energy and found that his meridians were completely connected, no different from an ordinary person. The injuries were automatically suppressed. Feng-yu was also greatly surprised. They had tried everything, but couldn't alleviate it. Could it be that woman? If it's true, then we must get this woman. Let's go. Go back first. The cold words gave the order. What is the highest realm of a white lotus? When your enemy is in front of you, you can still cry your heart out. This made Qingtong praise the woman's acting skills. The white lotus clenched her fists. Luo Qingtong is no longer the Luo Qingtong of the past. She has no evidence now. She can't do anything to me. I've already gotten what I want. What am I afraid of you for? She changed her crying face. The great sorrow and pain made me break through to the martial master realm. I'm already a fourth stage. The White Lotus's words were full of pride. She feigned concern. So what if your cultivation is restored? A mere martial warrior going against me, a martial master. A wicked smile appeared on Qingtong's red lips. Sister, the person you should be thanking is me. You've been sickly since you were a child. It was I who gave my resources to you. So many resources are enough to cultivate a martial general, and you're only a fourth stage martial master. Qingtong's words were like fanning the flames on the White Lotus's face. Were all those resources I gave you for a dog? With a look of disappointment, she patted the White Lotus's shoulder. Spiritual power inadvertently emanated from her hand. Qingtong turned and left gracefully. The White Lotus stood frozen on the spot. The eldest miss is so domineering, so dazzling. So the third miss relied on the eldest miss's resources to cultivate. Before the eldest miss's accident, the third miss had always hidden her cultivation. Now that the eldest miss is in trouble, she's starting to show off everywhere. What is her intention? The White Lotus was burning with anger. She scolded the gossiping servants. Do you want to die? How could Luo Qingtong have given her resources to me? After dying once, she's learned how to win people over. Your eyes are blind. Let's see what you'll use to compete with me. Qingtong returned to her courtyard. The little pig appeared with a mischievous smile. What was that just now? Such a big black-hearted lotus. Qingtong pointed at its pig nose. Hide yourself well. If anyone finds you, don't blame me. Suddenly, the little pig changed its expression. You can rest assured, Lord Pig will handle it. The little fox's tail kept wagging, hitting the back of the pig's head, making the little pig furious. You tiger cub, put your tail away. It complained tearfully to Qingtong. Why does it have to be me taking care of it? Qingtong raised an eyebrow. What? Should I take care of it instead? The little pig seemed to remember something and shook its head repeatedly. It's best if I take care of it. The moment she pushed open the door, Qingtong's expression changed. Her eyebrows twitched with anger. Looking at the gaudy and flashy room, the little pig smiled wickedly. Wow, is this a brothel? This is my courtyard. Qingtong suppressed her anger. Guards, who touched my main courtyard? This place doesn't feel right to me. The servants knelt on the ground in fear. It was the second master and madam. I'll give you 15 minutes. Throw everything in the room out. Otherwise, I'll throw you out. At this moment, the White Lotus was accompanying her mother. A maidservant ran and flustered. The eldest miss threw everything out and burned it. This made the White Lotus's mother's heart ache. The White Lotus was sweating coldly. Good thing I didn't move in. Her courage had already failed her. The evil woman was still chattering. You're already like this. Don't make a fuss. Now is not the time to confront her head-on. The evil woman looked as if she had eaten crap, but the White Lotus held a grudge in her heart. Luo Qingtong, you just wait. The girl was born with a pair of bewitching red pupils. She was abandoned by her parents on the roadside. Passers-by avoided her. This girl is an ominous person. The snow was falling heavily. The poor girl was unclaimed. An old scavenger rubbed the girl's forehead. You can follow me from now on. Just like that, Luo Qingtong was taken in by the old man. But time is unforgiving. In the end, the young buried the old. From then on, she was alone again, burning the gaudy decorations. A call of Qingtong made her freeze. Old Master Luo pulled her into his arms. Qingtong, you've suffered. Her body instinctively tensed up. Her eyes were dazed. Old Master Luo was overly excited. His body couldn't stop trembling. It's all grandfather's fault. I shouldn't have left you at home alone. She experienced familial love again. This was something she hadn't felt for a long, long time. She patted the old man's shoulder. Grandfather, I'm fine. Don't worry. The old man caressed her cheek. Grandfather will definitely find someone to cure your eyes. But Qingtong was all smiles. The original owner had such a loving grandfather. Yet she didn't want him and instead got close to the White Lotus and her mother. In that case, I'll take your grandfather. The Jinling continent is divided into martial cultivators and soul cultivators. Martial cultivators train their martial skills and strengthen their bodies. Soul cultivators cultivate their souls and spiritual power. All souls have spirituality. Once unlocked, one can master powerful abilities. And this spirituality is called a soul seal. Only with a soul seal can one cultivate the soul and become a soul master. Compared to soul cultivators, martial cultivators have to push their physical limits to advance, which is arduous. Soul masters have different cultivation paths, divided into alchemy, medicine refining, formation arts, inscription arts, and other rare talents. Martial cultivators are divided into martial apprentice, martial warrior, martial master, martial general, great martial lord, all the way to transcendent victor. Dark Sacred Domain, Main City. How was the investigation of that woman I asked you to look into? Reporting to my lord, we have searched hundreds of high-grade kingdoms and nearly 1,000 mid-grade kingdoms near the Easternly Kingdom, but we have not found this woman. The man's eyes were dark, his voice cold. Nothing? Feng Yu and Beichin were too scared to breathe. Have you checked everywhere? Beichin quickly replied that they had checked everywhere. Indeed, there was nothing. What about the Tianyu Empire? Nothing there either? According to the feedback from there, nothing either. The man was furious. Then expand the search. I must find her. He rubbed his forehead in frustration. He thought it would be easy to find that woman with her abilities. Could she be from another sacred dynasty? Screen all the information of everyone who entered the Easternly Kingdom before and after the strange event at Nine Witches Mountain. Just as the two were about to leave, the man suddenly spoke. Wait, never mind. I will go there myself. At this moment, Qingtong didn't know she was being targeted. She was leisurely spending time with her grandfather. Seeing her grandfather's absent-minded look, Old Master Luo tentatively asked, was it Luo Xingming who harmed you like this? This question stunned Qingtong. Qingtong smiled. It's all in the past. The person who harmed me will eventually get their retribution. This made Old Master Luo blame himself. He took her hand. Come with grandfather. No one can take away the true foundation and glory of the Luo family. They came to a mural. He circulated his spiritual power. A hidden door opened. Qingtong was surprised that even her own blood pupils hadn't discovered it. The true foundation of the Luo family's secret treasures are soul art cultivation manuals and insights. Qingtong also found a manual on pupil art cultivation. She excitedly reached out to take it. Under Old Master Luo's astonished gaze, the manual was already in her hand. Qingtong, her eyes. Old Master Luo was utterly shocked at this moment. There's a kind of affection called blood is thicker than water. Seeing his granddaughter who had come back from the dead, the old man could no longer hold back his tears. Not only did he take out the true foundation of the Luo family, he was also deeply shocked by his own granddaughter. Qingtong picked up the manual, making Old Master Luo exclaim in shock. Qingtong, your eyes. Qingtong explained, after I went blind, I had an epiphany and learned a secret technique. That's how I was able to escape from Nine Witches Mountain. She smiled charmingly. After all, possessing a body is a shocking thing. The Luo family's pupil art was a perfect cover for her to use her blood pupils in the future. Hearing this, grandfather was so excited that tears streamed down his old face. Now his granddaughter was all well. and she had even unlocked the talent left by their ancestors. The two things that Luo Xingning stole should also be returned to their rightful owner. Qingtong called out to Old Master Luo. She was also a little surprised. Since the Tianyu imperial family disliked the original owner, why did they give a spot to her? Qingtong sneered. Since she wants it, then give it to her. If you don't climb to the highest point, how can you fall even harder? Grandfather, there's one more thing. I want to break off the engagement. Qingtong smiled bewitchingly. Old Master Luo was shocked. Break off engagement? She took out the Dark Guard token from her pocket. I got this from the person who was hunting me. Old Master Luo cursed angrily. He turned around in a rage. This is breaking off the engagement. That fifth prince is not worthy of my granddaughter. Qingtong grabbed the furious Old Master Luo. Grandfather, the Yuan family will not easily agree to break off the engagement. She smiled slyly and whispered in his ear. One morning, a maidservant ran into the White Lotus's room, shouting. She was woken up by the noise, her face displeased. A female corpse was found hanging at the city gate. A woman was crying that it was the eldest Mississippi. Now, she was captured. She said you instructed her to go. As long as she saw a naked female body hanging at the city gate, dead or alive, she was to cry that it was the eldest miss of the Luo family and report it. The maidservant's face was filled with panic. Luo Xingning was shocked. Her sleepiness vanished in an instant. Not many people knew that Luo Qingtong had returned to the Luo family. Could it be Yuan Mo who wanted Luo Qingtong to be hung at the city gate, to be humiliated before being watched by thousands? This was his idea. Suddenly, an arrow shot into the bedpost. Failed. Come quickly. A note was tied to a Dark Guard token. She gritted her teeth, but she couldn't just ignore it. The White Lotus disguised herself and left the Luo residence. She sent a signal to inform the Marquis that Luo Xingning had left the Luo residence. At this moment, Old Master Luo was hosting a banquet for a group of imperial relatives from the Eastern Kingdom. The banquet area was divided into an inner and outer section. Suddenly, the sound of a door opening was heard. An exasperated voice came through. Seventh Princess, I will handle everything. Did you do that thing with the female corpse at the city gate? The crowd suddenly held their breath and listened carefully. Qingtong lowered her voice. What are you, an idiot? I don't know anything. The White Lotus didn't even try to distinguish if the voice was correct. Are you trying to burn the bridge after crossing it? Yuan Shui, you told me to lure Luo Qingtong to Nine Witches Mountain, cripple her cultivation, blind her eyes, and then have someone defile her body. I want to ask you why she is completely unharmed. Suddenly, the screen shattered. Old Master Luo's face was dark as he looked at the White Lotus. Qingtong also removed her disguise. The White Lotus's eyes widened as she realized she had been tricked. Old Master Luo cursed, "You monster," and kicked the White Lotus. Regarding today's matter, I ask everyone to be my witness. I will immediately go to the Tianyu Empire to break off the engagement. The woman only needed a glance. A sharp sword light flew out from the bookshelf. It was blasted into pieces. This made the little pig praise her. She can already materialize a sword from her pupil light. After the engagement-breaking turmoil, Qingtong spent all her time cultivating. But the little pig was feasting on a chicken leg, completely ignoring the little fox who was crying for food. Qingtong couldn't help but curse the pig head. Would it kill you to give Snowball a bite? But the little pig was furious. This is mine. Suddenly, it felt something was wrong. Wait, what's Snowball? It cried out in injustice. I was with you first. Why didn't you give me a name? Qingtong was indifferent. Then you can be called Little Fragrant Pig from now on. Only then was the pig head satisfied, but it felt like something was off. 7 days passed in a flash. Qingtong had already cultivated to a 3-star soul master. This astonishing speed surprised the little pig. Qingtong also experienced the downside of having no guidance. It seems I have to find a way to enter the Tianyu Academy. The top priority now is to treat my eyes. Only then can I maximize the power of my pupil art. Qingtong had just walked out of the secret room. Eldest miss, the third miss has disappeared. This made Qingtong frown. The guard quickly knelt down. This subordinate is incompetent. We have searched the entire Fonlin city, but couldn't find her. Please punish me. Mississippi, get up. This is not your fault. Qingtong naturally knew what was going on. She didn't expect the Tianyu imperial family to act so quickly. She then gave an order. I will be leaving the mansion for a period of time. All matters, big and small, will be managed by you. When grandfather returns, tell him not to worry. Also, while I'm not here, if anyone dares to cause trouble, no matter who it is, kill them without mercy." The guards acknowledged the order in unison. On the other side, a floating pavilion was flying through the air. To find out Qingtong's identity, the man personally went to the Dongli kingdom to investigate. At this moment, the man stood on the pavilion. He was really angry now. He never thought that he, the great Ming Zun, would actually get lost. Feng Yu looked at Bei Qin. The Lin boat was flying just fine. "Why did you touch it? You've delayed the whole journey." Bei Qin looked innocent, touching his head. "I just saw the master was anxious and wanted to make the Lin boat go faster." Feng Yu punched this idiot. "Is this something your brain can handle? Look where we've flown to." Ming Zun's voice was as cold as ice. "Go back to the Tianqing pavilion and receive your punishment." At night, Qingtong changed into her night clothes. She circulated her spiritual power, and a courtyard protection formation appeared. Little Fragrant Pig didn't understand why she was setting up a formation in her own home. Qingtong explained it was just in case. After finishing everything, she took the pig head and left Fenglin City, heading to a place that didn't belong to any country or sacred dynasty. Here, you could be lawless and do whatever you wanted. This is a paradise of sin. Here, you can get anything you want. The dark sacred domain, whose master the four great sacred dynasties feared. No one knew his origin. His title was Ming Zun. Easternly Kingdom, Black Jade Branch City. A moat blocked the crowd's path. Qingtong stood in the crowd. "This is the Yellow Springs path." White bones floated in the river. To enter the Black Prison, one must have the strength to pass the Yellow Springs path. A martial king would turn into white bones in an instant if they fell. Qingtong was helpless. "I hope I can find the antidote herbs." A giant ship came whistling through the sky. Qingtong also looked up. The crowd exclaimed, "Look, it's a Lin boat. I wonder what kind of person is inside." The Lin boat slowly entered the city gate. The Black Jade token is the pass to enter the Black Prison. The owner of the Lin boat is only Black Iron level. Yet so many people dream of it. It shows how coveted the Black Jade Prison is. Qingtong rested her chin on her hand. "This Lin boat is not bad. I should get one to play with when I have the chance." At this moment, UNMO got off the Lin boat. Suddenly, the Black Jade City's protective formation opened. All 9 city gates opened. The Black Jade City Lord even personally appeared to welcome them. Could it be a platinum token? No. All 9 gates opening means it's Ming Zun, the master of the Black Jade Prison. A floating pavilion flew over the crowd's heads. At this moment, Ming Zun stood proudly on the Lin Pavilion. Hearing the exclamations from below, Ming Zun glanced at Bei Qin. The person in question was also stunned. Only then did this idiot react and kneel down. He didn't know. "We just accidentally hit the display switch. Master, you can just punish me directly." Feng Yu hurried over and picked up this idiot. "I'll vent your anger for you. I'll teach him a lesson right away. I guarantee he won't be able to get out of bed." This made Ming Zun feel both amused and angry. Seeing that the master didn't say anything, he pulled Bei Qin and ran away. Qingtong also looked at the Lin Pavilion. The stupid pig looked disdainful. "You can't see anything. Why are you so excited?" Qingtong was also curious about who the master of the Black Jade Prison was. She activated her red pupils and looked up. Ming Zun's sharp gaze suddenly shot down. He looked at the crowd below. "Someone was just spying on me." A very familiar feeling. Could it be that woman? UNMO trembled all over. Is this Ming Zun? Just one glance made him unable to breathe. "I will have this kind of status and strength sooner or later." As the troublemaker, Qingtong hid in a corner. The person and the pig trembled. "So scary. I was almost discovered just now. Besides the man I met at 9 Witches Mountain, this is the second person who has scared me." After calming down, Qingtong came to the side of the iron chain. She pushed off the ground, and in a few leaps on the chain, she landed steadily on the other side of the river. A few people who were not afraid of death saw how easily Qingtong crossed. As soon as they got on the iron chain, they fell off, letting out miserable screams. Qingtong looked back and smiled coldly. "The Yellow Springs path, did you really think it was that easy to cross?" The woman kindly healed the man's meridians, but she never expected the man to pester her relentlessly. Inside the Black Jade Branch City Lord's mansion, Feng Yu and Bei Qin were summoned. Ming Zun finished checking the list of people who entered and exited 9 Witches Mountain that day. He sat there frustrated. Feng Yu carefully advised, "Master, don't worry. You said someone used Zhiyao poison to harm her. She must have deliberately hidden herself. After hearing this, Mingzun could only search from this clue. Bei-Qin looked worried. Master, the injuries to your meridians are congenital. Could we have made a mistake? But Feng Yu quickly stopped this idiot. Mingzun's spiritual power emanated from his body. The violent spiritual power sent the two flying. They slammed into the door frame. Bei-Qin even fell flat on his face. The two had no complaints. Instead, they were inexplicably excited, because it had been a long time since the master had used his full power. Someone can repair the master's meridians. Even if we have to dig 3 feet into the ground, we must find this person. Thinking that the woman might use the same method she used on him. On Bei-Qin and Feng Yu, Mingzun felt inexplicably uncomfortable. No, this woman is as cunning as a fox. You may not be able to deal with her. After you find her, just notify me directly. This is an order. No one is to touch her. I will capture her personally. The two quickly accepted the order. Bei-Qin suddenly thought of something. The bite mark on the master's lip that day. Could it be that the master has taken a fancy to that woman? Just as his big mouth was about to open, Feng Yu's hand landed heavily on his shoulder. Shut up if you don't want to die. At the same time, Qin Tong arrived at the auction house. She wore a mask to cover her face. The auction house's attendant enthusiastically came forward to greet her. I want to sell medicinal liquid. Qin Tong's voice was disguised, ancient, and hoarse. Hearing this, the attendant didn't dare to be negligent. He hurried to find the manager. A bottle of medicinal liquid was placed on the table. The effect of this medicinal liquid is that no matter how severe the meridian injury, it can be cured instantly. If a technique backfires, taking this is like having an extra life. The manager didn't dare to make a decision after hearing this. He hurriedly reported the matter to the general manager above him. After a while, a middle-aged man with a handlebar mustache came in. Qin Tong took out the medicinal liquid. The man with the handlebar mustache had an arrogant look. The moment it was opened, the medicinal fragrance filled the air. Handlebar mustache's expression was unreadable. The trembling of his fingers showed how excited he was. A wicked smile appeared on his face. The quality of this potion is indeed good. It's top grade. He secretly observed Qin Tong, who showed no reaction. But its effects still need to be appraised. You all wait here. The man turned and left with the potion. Qin Tong's eyes were cold, killing intent flowing. Handlebar Mustache walked out of the room and ducked into a corner. The refining technique for this potion is exceptionally clumsy. That person must have obtained it by a stroke of luck. It just so happens that the Lord is collecting meridian healing medicines. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. When Handlebar Mustache returned to the room, Qin Tong took the potion and circulated her energy. She immediately discovered the potion had been swapped. But Handlebar Mustache insisted that the potion was a fake. Qin Tong's eyes were icy, and she said nothing more. She threw down the potion and turned to leave. On the street, Little Pig was furious. Why didn't you expose him on the spot? But Qin Tong told it to wait for a good show. Did he really think that potion was so easy to take? She was now going to a more interesting place. The man's palm was rapidly decaying. In an instant, it turned into bare white bone. Inside the city lord's mansion, Mingzun held the potion, his face grim. You refined this potion? Handlebar Mustache knelt on the ground, his face full of pride. Yes, this subordinate inexplicably entered a state of enlightenment and managed to refine it. Mingzun's face was cold. He sternly questioned, who gave you the formula? These words startled Handlebar Mustache. Mingzun's gaze grew even colder. Handlebar Mustache finally realized something was wrong. This potion was indeed refined by this subordinate. Mingzun's tone was firm. Where did you get the formula for this potion? It's impossible for you to have concocted it. Handlebar Mustache knew he was exposed. Just as he was about to explain, his palm began to emit black smoke. Handlebar Mustache cried out in pain. It was that man in the black robe. It was him. I was wrong. I'll go find him right now. Could the man in the black robe be related to that woman? Mingzun watched him and said, Bei-Qin, have someone follow him. Also, bring the head manager of the auction house to me. Fen Yu didn't understand why his master was making such a fuss. Mingzun then tossed the potion to him. The moment he opened the potion, Fen Yu was stunned. This is almost identical to the master's sacred healing medicine, although the formula has been slightly modified. If that woman had seen or used it just once, it's not impossible for her to know the whole thing. Fen Yu was secretly pleased. If it is that woman, I will definitely find her. Inside the bloody arena, the roars of the massive crowd were deafening. Qingtong's figure caught the attention of a handmaiden. Little Pig couldn't understand why this woman came here, but Qingtong looked mysterious. The handmaiden suddenly approached Qingtong. "Customer, would you like to place a bet? Or perhaps something else?" Qingtong forcefully grabbed the outstretched hand. "I don't allow others to touch me. Understand?" This made the handmaiden cry out in pain and beg for mercy. Shaking off the handmaiden, Qingtong walked towards the crowd. The handmaiden muttered under her breath, "Doesn't like women, so must like men?" At that moment, on fighting stage number 9, a burly man was being pummeled by a skinny man. Every punch landed squarely, giving the burly man no chance to fight back. But Qingtong pointed at the burly man. "I'll bet 100,000 elites on him." This left the handmaiden stunned. Seeing the handmaiden unmoved, Qingtong said, "Just record it. I'm betting on him to win." Just then, the skinny man raised his hands to celebrate his victory. Qingtong walked over to the burly man. "Do you want to live?" The man looked at Qingtong with one blood-red eye. "I do." Qingtong circulated her power. "If you want to get out, kill him. I will save you." The burly man's eyes suddenly flew open. The power of his blood and chi boiled throughout his body. A roar erupted from his mouth as he charged towards the skinny man. He slammed the skinny man to the ground in one move. The skinny man's head was smashed like a watermelon on the spot. He let out another indifferent, furious roar. His meridians burst all over his body, and he fell straight to the ground. Qingtong looked at the handmaiden. "Tell your manager to prepare the money." The handmaiden explained, "He has to be alive to be considered the winner. Since they both went down, the house wins." Qingtong sneered. "Who said he's dead?" She entered the fighting ring, pried open the man's mouth, and poured a green potion inside. She gave the man's body a few hard slaps. The man staggered to his feet. This made the crowd curious. What did the person in the black robe give him? She looked at the dumbfounded referee. "Now you could declare him the winner." As the referee struck the gong, the crowd went wild. "Your Excellency, how should we address you? I'll buy that potion, no matter the cost." A triumphant smile appeared on Qingtong's lips. "Please call me Evil Dr. Guetong. This was my title in my past life. Consider it a final memento for him. Let everyone know the name of Evil Dr. Guetong. Who would have thought? The 5th prince of the Tianyu kingdom would actually kneel before a woman, begging like a dog wagging its tail. In the VIP lounge of the bloody arena, 2 managers looked at Qingtong with smiles. Their faces were kind and amiable. "Lord Evil Doctor, how many more bottles of that potion do you have?" Before they could finish, Qingtong spoke faintly. 10 bottles. Your arena can distribute half. You take the other half to auction. I'll take a 90% cut of the proceeds. How about we continue our cooperation in this manner? After she finished speaking, the arena's director was pleasantly surprised. "Find a way to gather these medicinal ingredients for me. If you need anything in the future, you can come to me." She handed them the list in her hand. Just as the man took the list, a voice called out, "Who is Evil Dr. Guetong?" This greatly displeased the manager. "We just managed to get close to the evil doctor. Where did this clueless bastard come from?" UNMO pushed aside the attendant, blocking his way. He threw out a black jade token. "Is this how you treat your guests?" UNMO questioned loudly. "You're the evil Dr. Guetong? Come with me at once to save my junior sister. Her meridians are injured." But Qingtong was unmoved. UNMO brought up the name of the Great Qin Holy Courtyard, hoping the evil doctor would help. "We will naturally reward you handsomely." Qingtong tapped her fingers on the stool, a wicked smile on her lips. "I have 3 rules for not saving people. I don't save those who deserve to die. I don't save those who can be cured by others. And finally, I don't save those who displease me. You should find someone else." These words made UNMO feel as if he had eaten crap. "Senior brother, don't waste your breath on this kind of person. Let's hurry and find Master Lu." Just as UNMO was about to leave, Handlebar Mustache ran in like a ghost. "My lord, spare my life. I know I was wrong. It's all my fault. I beg you, my lord, to spare this lowly one." He kowtowed forcefully, his head banging on the floor. The disciples of the Holy Courtyard had never seen such a scene. They cursed Qingtong for being venomous and despicable. Qingtong looked disdainfully at Master Lu. "Then tell me, why did you end up like this?" The Holy Courtyard disciples were even more surprised to hear this. How could this man be Master Lu? The arena manager saw the badge on the man's chest. An Earth rank badge. It really is Master Lu. At this moment, Master Lu was wailing in agony. "I shouldn't have swapped your potion. I beg you to spare me." A holy courtyard disciple couldn't help but mutter, but there's no need to be so vicious. He was immediately berated by the manager. Show some respect to Lord Evil Doctor. You talk about righteousness and morality, but if it were you, you might have done something even more ruthless. UNMO also knew it was not wise to stay long. He was just about to leave. But Ching Tong called out, now that the truth is out, you think you can just walk away? Kneel, kowtow, and say I'm sorry 3 times, and this evil doctor will let you go. Hearing this, UNMO was filled with rage. The holy courtyard disciples cursed Ching Tong for daydreaming. Ching Tong looked on as if watching a play. So that's a no? At that moment, the 2 arena managers called over a group of people to surround them. The head manager had a wicked smile. This is the Black Jade City. What kind of place do you think this is? UNMO was now in a difficult position. Just moments ago, he was arrogant and domineering. Now his face was grim. He was seen bowing, clasping his hands, and kneeling on the ground. It was I who failed to recognize a great person. I offended Lord Evil Doctor and implicated my fellow disciples. Please, my lord, don't hold it against us. Ching Tong waved her hand with an annoyed expression, as if the sight of them bothered her. She threw the antidote to Master Lu. Take the antidote and go. Don't let me see you again. The woman not only saved his life, but also scammed him. Finally getting news of the woman, Ming Xuan snuck into her room in the middle of the night. Ching Tong was currently taking a bath. In Ching Tong's eyes, the Luo family's strength was too weak, especially her grandfather, who was stuck at the Wuhou rank and unable to break through. She thought about this while soaking in the bath, savoring the fruit in her hand. Suddenly, her gaze sharpened. The warning array she had set up outside had been triggered. She wrapped a black robe around her shapely body. Who's there? Ching Tong lowered her voice and asked grimly. Ming Xuan looked at Ching Tong with a dark, profound gaze. Long time no see. His voice was laced with amusement. Ching Tong screamed internally, holy crap, why is it this man again? From Mount Jiawu to here, he's been haunting me relentlessly. Are you sure you don't have a secret crush on me? Ching Tong spoke in an old man's voice. Who are you, Your Excellency, to be peeping on a man bathing? Don't tell me you walked into the wrong room. Ming Xuan was startled when he heard the voice. It really was a man's voice. His expression showed no fluctuation. That woman is cunning. This might be her disguise. He took out the potion. Evil Dr. Guetong, did you refine this potion? In an instant, Ching Tong understood. This bastard recognized it even after I modified the formula. Of all the people, it had to fall into his hands. She could only brace herself and admit that she had indeed refined it. Are you looking for me to refine medicine? Ming Xuan was skeptical. Where did you get this formula? Ching Tong lied without batting an eye. I traded it with a little girl. I once saved her life. She gave me the formula, and I thought it was good, so I refined it. Is there a problem? Ming Xuan suddenly reached out, his face grim, and grabbed at Ching Tong. With a ripping sound, a piece of her robe was torn off. Ming Xuan hadn't expected her to dodge. Ching Tong instantly pulled away. She was about to have a breakdown. I'm not wearing anything underneath. Is he a pervert? He actually wants to rip my clothes off. She saw Ming Xuan's hand reaching out again. Ching Tong had no more room to retreat. She saw the hand getting closer and closer. A flash of inspiration struck her. She thought a good idea. She grabbed the man's hand. This left Ming Xuan stunned and at a loss. Ching Tong guided his hand to touch her lower body. The sensation from his hand instantly made Ming Xuan's face darken. It was hard. He remembered the handmaiden saying the person in the black robe was a man with certain preferences. He had been so sure it was that woman in disguise. Now, with the real sensation in his hand, he panicked. Ching Tong wouldn't let this chance go. Oh, you're so naughty. So the young master has those preferences too. I just love handsome and imposing men like you. Look, you've even made me hard. This disgusted Ming Xuan, making him feel nauseous. His mind went blank. He violently snatched his hand back. Startled, he quickly retreated. Outside the door, the 2 eavesdroppers had different expressions. I didn't expect the master to be into something so exciting. Fengyu was furious. This idiot dares to be so blatant while eavesdropping. Do you want to be taught a lesson again? At this moment, Ching Tong skipped towards Ming Xuan. Young master, come play. A woman was bathing naked, not expecting a man to peep on her. When she saw the man's face, the woman felt like dying. Ching Tong skipped over to the man's side. Mingzuan slapped away her outstretched hand. Get lost. Don't touch me. Qing Tong, having forgotten the pain once the wound healed, put on a flirtatious act. What are you hesitating for? Where's the courage you had just now? Are you worried about who's on top? She slowly approached Mingzuan. Although I'm always on top, if it's you, young master, I don't mind being on the bottom. Come on, young master. I just took a bath. I'm not wearing anything. Qing Tong's hand was already on Mingzuan's body. Her other hand began to reach for his waist. Mingzuan felt as if he'd been electrocuted. With a whoosh, he vanished. This left Qing Tong stunned. From outside the door came Mingzuan's hateful voice. Disgusting. Utterly disgusting. Feng Yu pulled the Peking Beiqing. Let's go quickly. The master is angry. After a long silence, Qing Tong took off her mask. That was scary. This man is getting harder and harder to understand. She took out the banana she had hidden earlier and started munching on it. It's so delicious. Does he have to be so persistent? It's not like I did anything too outrageous. She snapped her fingers, and Little Pig was released from the tower. In an instant, the piglet looked at her strangely. What has happened? Why is there the aura of that man from Mount Jiawu? Weren't you bathing? These words made Qing Tong snap. Shut up. Isn't this all because of you? Why did he capture you back then? You have something he wants. She smacked the pig's head with a banana. Little Pig felt wronged. What did I do? Wasn't it you who kissed him, bit him, and teased him? And you blame me? Besides, he captured me and asked me a bunch of random things. I had no idea what was going on. Qing Tong was curious. What did he ask you back then? The piglet tried to recall. He asked me about an ancient medicinal formula. How would I know about that? Hearing this, Qing Tong fell into deep thought. His strange internal injury, that would make sense. Qing Tong's eyes were full of distrust. This pig is too cunning. Are you sure you don't know about that ancient formula? The pig's head shook like a rattle drum. I really don't know. If I did, why would I have been running for my life and signed such an unequal contract with you? Qing Tong's expression instantly turned harmless. How about roasted pig tomorrow? Tears streamed down Little Pig's face. Master, I was wrong. The next morning, when Qing Tong went out, someone was following her from the shadows. Qing Tong smiled nonchalantly. I'll just treat them as free bodyguards. She didn't care. Right now, she was heading to the slave market. It was time to cultivate her own power. Arriving at the slave market, she was warmly welcomed by the manager. Qing Tong stated that she wanted a courtyard full of battle slaves. The stronger the better. Accompanied by the director, she entered the inner hall. As the manager gave a signal, a group of slaves with shackled hands and feet swarmed in. These are all Wuho rank experts. The battle slaves have been controlled. You can rest assured. After you have made your selection, I will bestow the slave seals upon you. As long as the slave seal exists, they can never defy their master's orders, nor can they break free from their bonds to advance in rank. Qing Tong scanned the crowd. Some of these people were once prodigies. Now, their life and death rested on the whim of another. The weak are prey to the strong. The powerful are revered. Suddenly, she noticed a familiar figure in the crowd. This made Qing Tong very curious. And that person's purple eyes also looked towards Qing Tong. The woman just glanced at the man and bought all the slaves. She then provocatively lifted the man's chin. I know who you are. I can protect you. And in front of everyone, she cut the man's chains. Just as the manager feared a riot might break out, Feng Yu pushed through the crowd and knelt on one knee. Feng Yu's life belongs to the master, and my ghost will be the master's in death. That night, at Qing Tong's residence, Qing Tong sipped her tea leisurely. All right, take it off. These words made the pig's head spit out a mouthful of tea. The man, however, looked alarmed. Inside the city lord's mansion, Feng Yu and Beiqing were observing in secret. It's been a whole day and night, Feng Yu. Do you think that night the master really? Feng Yu slapped Beiqing across the face. I told you to keep a close watch on that evil doctor. Did you? Feng Yu quickly bowed. Rest assured, I've already sent people to watch him closely. If there's nothing else, we will take our leave. At this moment, Mingzuan's expression was icy, and he was seething with anger. That evil doctor is the only clue to finding that woman. Otherwise, I would have killed him. The more he thought about it, the angrier he got. The angrier he got, the more furious he became. A loud bang was heard from the city lord's mansion. How dare you covet me? On the other side, the man remained silent for a long time, as if having made a certain decision. He was seen untying his hair and taking off his outer robe. A head of long purple hair cascaded down. It was clear he was a woman disguised as a man. This surprised Fengyu. I wonder when the master discovered it. He had been disguised as a man since he was young. Qingtong said frankly, "Just remember that from now on, you serve me as your master." She gestured for him to come closer. Fengyu moved to Qingtong's side. Qingtong opened her palm and circulated her red pupils. A slave seal appeared on Fengyu's forehead. He felt a buzzing in his mind. Amidst the sharp pain, it felt as if something had been shattered. Suyu's eyes widened in shock as he looked at Qingtong. "Master, you don't need to ask why. I just don't like my people's lives being in the hands of others." Qingtong's voice was faint. "I don't care what your identity was before or what kind of grudges and past you have. In the future, when you become powerful through cultivation, you can seek your own revenge. I won't stop you. But by my side, you must not have any selfish intentions. Can you do that?" The blood-red glint in her eyes flickered. "Everything Suyu has belongs to the master. Please rest assured, master." Qingtong calmly returned to her seat. "You will manage all affairs by my side. The people from the slave market will be organized into teams by you to patrol the mansion. I'll give you a map. For now, patrol according to this route. It's time to teach those spies a lesson." During the day, in the city lord's mansion, Ming Zun sat in the main seat. An old man spoke with a smile. "Lord Zun has summoned me. I wonder what the matter is." Ming Zun's unquestionable voice rang out. "You are not to touch him." The old man was puzzled. Why is Lord Zun so concerned about this person? But Ming Zun stated, "He is my fated person." Thinking of something, he cursed inwardly. "I haven't even touched him. What right do you have to?" The old man explained with a smile, "I just wanted to see what kind of sacred person could refine a supreme grade potion." This made Ming Zun's face darken. Seeing Ming Zun's distrustful gaze, the old man repeatedly assured him he would not touch them. Only then did Ming Zun relax. "That's for the best." Ming Zun stood up to leave. As he passed the old man noted it was the first time he had seen the man lose his composure like this. Rumor has it that the evil doctor has certain preferences, yet Ming Zun values him so much. This made the old man even more curious. The female lead abuses him 1,000 times, but he treats the female lead like his first love. Qingtong casually took out a supreme grade potion. Not only did it attract the covetous eyes of powerful experts, but they also wanted to make a move on him. All of this was blocked by Ming Zun. This made the old man even more curious about Qingtong. At night, Fengyu found Qingtong. The heaven and earth dragon soul grass has been found. The person who has it wants to see him personally. The next day, Qingtong arrived at the bloody arena. As soon as she entered, an old man stared at her intently. This gaze gave Qingtong goosebumps. The old man said, "Rumor has it that the evil doctor's medical skills are extraordinary. I wonder if you can treat this old man. If you can, the heaven and earth dragon soul grass is yours." The old man's gaze never left Qingtong. Qingtong activated her red pupils. She saw the old man's body was enveloped in a layer of violent power. This scene startled Qingtong. "I'm sorry, I can't treat it." Qingtong answered decisively. She was about to leave. The old man was unconvinced. "You can't treat it without even looking? Or are you afraid to treat it?" Qingtong replied with ease. "Your breathing is deep and carries the sound of thunder, indicating that the qi in your body is intertwined with a formidable power. And look at your fingers. Your nails are thin and your skin is fair but loose. This shows your essence is young. To put it bluntly, you are suppressing your current state with sheer power. In fact, you are at least 10 times younger than you appear." The old man was shocked. He looked at Qingtong, his face filled with joy and laughter. The little doll's words are not off by a single letter. "You indeed cannot treat this injury." Qingtong secretly disdained him. "I already said I couldn't treat it." Just as she was about to leave again, the old man called out to her. The old man threw out the heaven and earth dragon soul grass, which Qingtong caught steadily. "There's something else inside. I hope you will make good use of it." After saying that, the old man strode away. This left Qingtong completely bewildered. Is this guy insane? How baffling. And miles away in the capital, every move of Qingtong and the old man was seen by Ming Zun. The heaven and earth dragon soul grass is one of the ingredients to counteract a certain poison. And he called the little doll, "Go and invite the evil doctor to the mansion." His command was not to be questioned. "Let's see how you escape this time." Beiqing was about to object, but he saw Ming Zun's cold gaze. He swallowed his words. Fengyu hurriedly slapped his idiotic subordinate. "I'll go at once." He dragged Beiqing away. Little Bay, you'll be the death of yourself sooner or later. Instead of that useless mouth of yours, you should put to better use elsewhere." This left Bei Qing with a questioning look. Feng Yu gave a meaningful and friendly smile. "Don't worry, you'll find out sooner or later." Just as they left the bloody arena, Chu Lingfeng ran over and knelt on the ground. "I beg you, Lord Evil Doctor, to save my mother." This confused Qing Tong. "Isn't your mother already dead? How can I save her?" Chu Lingfeng quickly replied, "My mother isn't dead. She even smiled at me. Only Lord Evil Doctor can save her." His figure was becoming fainter and was about to disappear. This made Qing Tong even more curious. "Lead the way." Chu Lingfeng was overjoyed. "Thank you, my lord. From now on, you're my master." The old man had bluntly revealed the female lead's little doll identity. This infuriated the man, who then invited the evil doctor to his mansion. On the other side, Qing Tong arrived at Chu Lingfeng's home and activated her pupils. She indeed saw the woman's faint soul. Soul separation syndrome. How rare. She called for Chu Lingfeng, had him extend his hand, and cut his palm. Hot blood spurted out. Qing Tong raised her hand and drew several symbols in the air. With her soft shout, the symbols made of blood instantly entered the woman's body. She wrote the character for seal on the woman's forehead. As the blood slowly disappeared, the woman gradually regained her vitality. Chu Lingfeng was moved to tears. Suddenly, Qing Tong's gaze sharpened. She took something from the woman's palm. Chu Lingfeng hurriedly tried to stop her, but it was too late. Qing Tong stared at the strange piece of wood in her hand. This is a 1,000-year-old soul-guiding wood, an object of extreme yin and evil. It naturally possesses the power to ensnare souls. If handled properly, it can nourish the spirit. It turned out that Chu Lingfeng's mother was harmed by it. Chu Lingfeng looked at Qing Tong with a worried expression. Qing Tong indicated that it was fine. "Do you know where this object came from?" Chu Lingfeng quickly replied, "Outside the city. My mother came back and became like this." Just as they reached the city gate, they were stopped by Feng Yu. "Lord Evil Doctor, please wait. My Lord Zun requests your presence." This made Qing Tong wary. Why is the supreme ruler of Black Jade City looking for me? Could it be for refining medicine? Thinking she had figured it all out, she had the two lead the way to the city lord's mansion. Feng Yu and the other then left. Qing Tong looked around curiously. Suddenly, she was attracted by a prescription on the table. Jadeite Heaven's Heart Fruit. Could it be that Mingzuan has it? And isn't this the potion I refined? How could someone have analyzed it? In an instant, Qing Tong had a revelation. Unless it's that man from Mount Jiawu. She screamed internally. Holy crap, could Mingzuan from Mount Jiawu be the same person? Qing Tong felt a cold sweat break out, and her body involuntarily retreated. This is not a place to stay. I'm doomed. With a thud, she bumped into a solid chest. Mingzuan's cold voice came from behind. "Where do you think you're going?" Qing Tong could have coughed up blood. What a fateful enemy. What a disaster. Mingzuan stared at her intently. "Why aren't you talking? Let's see what tricks you can play this time." Qing Tong was furious. "Say what? I have plenty of tricks. If you have the guts, play on my level. I'll play until you doubt your own existence." But right now, she didn't dare. She quickly laughed it off. "Lord Zun, this one doesn't know what you're talking about." Mingzuan was now feeling smug. His face was grim as he sneered. Qing Tong started spouting nonsense. "That night, I didn't know it was you. Otherwise, how would I dare to have designs on you? I wanted to atone with my body." She was touching a sore spot. Mingzuan gritted his teeth. "Shut up. It seems you're going to keep up the act." Qing Tong was so scared, she kept backing away. Mingzuan got closer and closer to her. "Speak. Will you take it off yourself, or shall I do it for you?" He was the supreme ruler feared by all. Yet he had been repeatedly tricked by a woman. Now that he had finally caught her, he wanted to strip her clothes. 10,000 alpacas galloped through Qing Tong's mind. Even with the mask on, cold sweat dripped down her face. Her steps were forced back again and again. Without another word, Mingzuan directly grabbed for her mask. Just as Qing Tong was panicking, she remembered the words of the old man from whom she received the inheritance. She could recover her sight for 2 hours each day. Qing Tong said without hesitation, "Don't move. I'll take it off myself." The moment she took off the mask, her eyes recovered. The jade-green eyes and the young, handsome face stunned Mingzuan. "It's not him." Qing Tong then made an inviting gesture. "Is Lord Zun tempted? Are you willing to do some lovely things with me?" He frowned the face before him. He raised his hand and seized Qing Tong's chin, pulling him closer. A flash of disappointment crossed his eyes. The eyes are not right. Unconvinced, Mingzuan rubbed the corner of his eye with his thumb. Qingtong grabbed the man's hands. I didn't know you were in such a hurry. I'm so shy. His face darkened, and he slapped Qingtong on the head. Stop it. Get back. A rebellious thought suddenly rose in Qingtong's heart. I refuse to believe you can stay composed. She was seen caressing him from bottom to top, resting her head on Mingzuan's chest. Her hands roamed disobediently, and with a shy expression, she leaned towards Mingzuan's lips. Mingzuan pushed Qingtong away. What are you doing? Qingtong looked at the angry man. I'm not doing anything, just satisfying your truest inner desires. Lord Zun, have you admired me for a long time? Last time, you peeked at me bathing in the middle of the night. This time, you even want to take off my clothes. You repressed pervert. Oh, you're so naughty. Qingtong shouted, completely ignoring the man's explosive emotions. Mingzuan was now in a difficult position. Qingtong was relentless. I knew you admired me, but I prefer to be the one on top. She showed a sad expression. So it's impossible between us. Give up. Let's part ways here. This made Mingzuan suffer a silent loss. With a bang, he came out looking aggrieved. He watched Qingtong's departing figure. The two men had different expressions. Qingtong was laughing her head off inside. Lord Zun has certain preferences and is a persistent admirer. Now everyone knows. As she was leaving, she turned back to wave at the man, only to see him standing there heroically. What caught her attention even more was the jadeite heaven's heart fruit that had fallen at the man's feet. She suppressed the urge to go back. She turned and strode away. The two men watched Qingtong leave and discussed what they had heard. What does on top mean? Just as Fengyu was about to explain, a cold, murderous aura. With a bang, the door shattered. The two fell to the ground. What did you hear? Terrified, the two quickly bowed. Fengyu reported that news of that woman had come from the Tianyu kingdom and handed it to Mingzuan to read. After reading the message, he said, "Go down and prepare. We leave tomorrow." Qingtong was extremely frustrated at the moment. Why is it in that man's hands? Does he really want me to walk into a trap? Little Pig spread its trotters helplessly. Without the jadeite heaven's heart fruit, I can't decipher it. Seeing Qingtong's setback, Little Pig said, "When it comes to playing dirty, who can beat you? You are the ancestor of playing dirty. I refuse to believe you can't handle one man." That night, Qingtong changed into a set of night clothes and quietly appeared inside the city lord's mansion. I must get the jadeite heaven's heart fruit. The woman openly watched the handsome man bathe, not only praising his figure, wow, but also pounced on the man to take advantage of him. That night, Qingtong made her way to the medicine storeroom. Suddenly, she heard someone speaking. "Sixth brother, you're here to get medicine again? I'm so envious that you get to serve the godlike Lord Zun." These words made little Six swell with pride. It's all right. After all, Lord Zun is very approachable. Hearing this, Qingtong almost fell from the tree. Approachable? Are you sure not fierce? After a while, little Six left, satisfied. Qingtong rested her chin in her hand with a wicked smile. It'll be you then. When no one was around, Qingtong knocked the man out with a side chop. She steadily caught the medicine that was about to fall. The next second, Qingtong put on the clothes. "What are you doing here?" A voice came, startling Qingtong. Beiqing was staring at her. Qingtong's inner actor took over. "I had to pee. Lord Beiqing, please forgive me." Beiqing grabbed Qingtong, who was about to run. "You know the master needs this urgently, and you still dare to delay? Come with me, quickly." Qingtong was speechless. This idiot was actually dragging her along. Before long, he threw Qingtong to the ground. The fall was incredibly painful. When Qingtong arrived beside the bath, a voice said, "Pour it in." The voice was indescribably calm. She didn't dare to look at the man, but couldn't help but wonder. Is he soaking in a new healing solution again? What kind of strange internal injury does he have? As she slowly added the medicinal ingredients, Qingtong suddenly discovered something shocking. The jadeite heaven's heart fruit was placed right next to Mingzuan. This discovery made her hands freeze. This slight movement made Mingzuan's eyes turn to her. She was so scared she trembled and didn't dare to move. The man's front. Mingzuan suddenly stood up. Qingtong's gaze went blank. Her face flushed red. She lost her footing. With a shriek, she fell towards Mingzuan in the bath. It's over, it's over. Qingtong's soul nearly left her body. The man was also startled by the shriek and turned his head. The sound was incredibly loud. The impact made Mingzuan spit out a mouthful of blood. Qingtong was submerged in the water. The collision was unbearable for Mingzuan. His mind was a mess. What is this thing poking my face? The moment she looked up, Ching Tong was stunned. Holy crap, she shot up from the water. The sight made her heart pound. Just as she was about to apologize, she seemed to remember certain scenes and quickly swallowed her words. Ming Zun, trembling, put on his robe, his face as dark as charcoal. Lord Zun, if I said it was an accident, would you believe me? Ching Tong tried her best to save herself. Ming Zun's gaze was icy. You deserve to die. These words made Ching Tong tremble all over. Please believe me, I really didn't do it on purpose. Ming Zun suddenly paused. Why as a woman? I don't recall having any female attendants. Ching Tong thought this is bad. Her hair had been washed loose, and the disguise potion had dissolved. At this moment, Ming Zun suddenly stepped forward. Why do you look so familiar? Come here, let me have a closer look. Ching Tong was breaking down inside, backing away repeatedly and shouting, Don't. Not only did she take advantage of the handsome man, but she also had an intimate encounter with his brother. After having her way, she tried to slip away, but heard the sound of a fall. At this moment, Ming Zun's body was covered in blood. Ching Tong thought, could it be because I disturbed his healing again? His injury flared up. She tried to comfort herself. Maybe he was already like this, and it has nothing to do with me. But for some reason, she felt worried. She turned and walked towards a man. What a fateful connection. Just consider my debt to you. She struggled to drag the man out of the water. Soaking in the healing solution hadn't helped his meridians. Instead, they were on the verge of bursting from the spiritual energy. Even the last time she helped him, his meridians had rapidly broken. With the intention of saving a life, Ching Tong gave him a full-body examination. Ching Tong grew more and more alarmed. The stronger one's power, the more robust their body should be. But the man was the opposite. His meridians were like thin paper, fragile and easily broken. How could he even cultivate with a body like this? After a quiet examination, she found that besides his meridians, there was nothing wrong. She let out a sigh. I don't get it. I'd better help him repair his meridians before he bleeds to death. As time passed, Ching Tong's forehead was covered in sweat. The moment she withdrew her hand, she felt immense pain. Spiritual power was running rampant in her body. She suppressed the chaotic spiritual energy. Is this man a walking panacea? Every time his power circulated through her body, it brought back a portion of his pure energy. She was almost overwhelmed by the spiritual power. She had to suppress her cultivation, which could advance at any moment. Suddenly, a knock on the door woke Ching Tong from her cultivation. Bei Qing and the other heard the strange noise and rushed over. Ching Tong quickly left through the window. The long silence made the two worried. You two guard the outside. Block all exits. The moment the door was opened, Bei Qing screamed in terror. Master, Ming Zun was lying on the ground covered in blood. Fen Yu helped Ming Zun up. Master's old injury has relapsed. We must return to the main city immediately. On the other side, Ching Tong arrived outside the city. Following Chu Lingfeng's directions, she searched for the 1,000-year-old soul-guiding wood. The suppressed power within her body could be put to good use here. Amidst the howling of ghosts and wolves, Ching Tong suddenly looked up. A large, dark green tree appeared before her. Ching Tong looked at the tree with amusement. How interesting. A soul-guiding wood that has gained sentience. It also let out a mournful cry. Ching Tong's originally clear eyes turned dark as she listened to the tree's cries, and she walked towards the soul-guiding wood step by step. Ching Tong got closer and closer to the tree. The tree also opened its blood-red maw. It revealed its true form, lunging at the prey within its reach. Ching Tong's red pupils flickered, a wicked smile on her lips. This is the moment I've been waiting for. She kicked off the trunk and leaped into the air. The heart of the 1,000-year-old soul-guiding wood was actually in its mouth. This discovery excited Ching Tong. Knowing its weakness, she radiated a purple, red spiritual power. The soul guiding would also realize that the woman before it wanted to take its heart. A daydream. Humans have life and death, and the sword is divided into two aspects. The woman took out the life and death duality sword. The life blade ignores defense and absorbs spiritual power for its own use. The death blade is released for slaughter. Ching Tong's eyes became incomparably cold. She used the death blade. The soul-guiding wood's incoming attack was scattered by the sword's light. The power she had obtained from the man was finally unleashed. Ching Tong flew towards the soul-guiding wood. Several flashes of sword light passed, and the severed branches quickly dissipated on the ground. The death blade is born for slaughter, to kill all things in the world. A mere little tree spirit dares to be so arrogant? This made Ching Tong laugh involuntarily. The tree spirit went berserk again. Countless streams of light shot towards Qing Tong. Relying on her red pupils, she dodged and blocked the attack. What a madman. Even after gaining sentience, the intelligence of a low-level creature hasn't changed, losing its mind over such a small thing. A mournful cry was heard again. Countless vines shot out from the tree spirit towards Qing Tong. As the area shrank, Qing Tong was trapped in the formation. She was seen piercing a lunging branch with her sword, her eyes glowing with a demonic red light. With a soft shout, black flames erupted from his sword. With a loud bang, the trapping formation was directly consumed by the black flames. The soul guiding wood was engulfed by the black flames and burned to ashes amidst its screams. The heart of the 1,000-year-old soul guiding wood fell into her hands. A wave of exhaustion hit her, and Qing Tong knelt on one knee. I didn't expect this soul guiding wood to be so troublesome. Not far away, the fifth prince, UNMO, was heading towards a soul guiding wood. "Senior brother, look over there." A woman suddenly cried out. A pillar of black flame shot up from the ground. "Damn it, something happened at the 1,000-year-old soul guiding wood. Let's hurry over." They had also come for this tree's heart. There could be no mistakes. After a short rest, Qing Tong felt much better. Suddenly, she heard the sound of hurried footsteps. She put on her veil and let down her hair. No matter who it was, her identity could not be exposed. When UNMO arrived at the scene, he was first startled, then he saw a stunning sight. Qing Tong's long hair flowed in the wind, her veil covering half of her face. The glance she threw over upon hearing the noise, the movement of her eyes, was as beautiful as a painting. UNMO slowly stopped in his tracks, neither immortal nor demon. He had never seen such a stunningly beautiful and uniquely tempered woman. Seeing UNMO staring blankly, the woman felt a surge of jealousy. "Senior brother, the soul guiding wood is gone. The heart must be on her." UNMO just stood there, dazed and unmoved. This scene made the woman even angrier. "Hand over the tree heart, and I'll spare your life." She was about to attack Qing Tong. UNMO grabbed her wrist. "Can't you see this lady's eyes are injured? Don't bully a blind person." Qing Tong found it amusing. "So this is the junior sister who forced him to kneel and beg me. But now it seems there's a problem." The woman shook off UNMO's hand. "She stole our things. Have you been bewitched?" UNMO coughed to hide his embarrassment. "Miss, do you know what happened here? Could you tell us?" "To be honest, we came for the soul guiding wood." Qing Tong ignored him. "Isn't that obvious? Who isn't here for the soul guiding wood?" She walked right past UNMO without a word. UNMO spoke again. "Miss, could you please tell us?" But the woman attacked directly. "I've never seen senior brother act like this towards anyone. You soul-snatching vixen, you really deserve to die. Jealousy makes one ugly." Just because of Qing Tong's unparalleled beauty, the woman rashly attacked her. "As long as I ruin that face of yours, let's see how you seduce men." Qing Tong caught the incoming whip. UNMO shouted a warning. "Miss, no, let go quickly." Qing Tong smiled wickedly. "This vicious woman, you want to ruin my face? Then I'll return the favor." She whipped the whip back at her. It struck the woman directly in the face, causing her to let out a piercing scream. "How dare you hit me? I'll kill you." However, the pain on her face made her itch. Amidst her screams, she clawed at her face. "It hurts. It's so itchy. My face. What did you do to me?" The onlookers were bewildered by the screams. At this moment, the woman's face became more and more swollen. The scene on her face horrified the crowd. UNMO was also shocked. He stumbled back in fear. At this moment, half of the woman's face began to rot. Qing Tong looked at her handiwork and laughed. UNMO asked his junior sister to take out the antidote, but the poison she used was not something she could cure. "It must be this woman. She did something to my whip." Qing Tong looked at her as if she were a joke. "You should be glad I didn't have enough ingredients." Her words were filled with mockery. The woman couldn't stand this humiliation, but UNMO held her back tightly. She didn't understand why her senior brother was protecting her. As the poison took effect, she fainted. UNMO walked towards Qing Tong step by step. "We can do without the tree heart, but you must cure this poison, miss." Qing Tong couldn't be bothered to reply. UNMO took out his sword. The Holy Courtyard disciples also attacked Qing Tong from behind. She used her red pupils. She mocked them. So-called disciples of the righteous path are nothing more than this. Her figure strangely vanished from a spot. The attack was directed at UNMO, causing them to scramble. Qing Tong flickered a few times and landed on a treetop. These holy courtyard disciples truly don't live up to their name. UNMO, a self-proclaimed genius, had never suffered such a blow. Just as he was about to fly after her, he crashed into a formation. This left him feeling unwilling. Qingtong vanished in a flash. To set up a formation in such a short time, her mastery of formations was too great. UNMO was shocked. They were no match for her at all. As the formation dissipated, the priority was to return to the holy courtyard to save his junior sister. And Qingtong's image was deeply imprinted in Yuanmo's mind, giving him a strange feeling. Returning to Black Jade City, Qingtong's mind was in turmoil. I wonder how that man is doing. He probably won't die, right? Then she heard passers-by whispering. Lord Zun suddenly left on urgent business. Right after, something happened at the evil doctor's mansion. The evil doctor's lover, that man with certain preferences, was captured. This stunned Qingtong. An unknown anger burned within her. She grabbed a cloak. She headed towards the mansion. Qingtong pushed open the mansion gate. In the courtyard, the attendants were all injured. Seeing Qingtong return, Chu Lingfeng quickly spoke up. Master, someone came seeking revenge on Suyu. Many of our brothers were injured. Suyu was taken by them. The woman had just gone on a date with her husband. But when she returned home, she learned her subordinate had been kidnapped. The mansion gate had even been splashed with dog's blood. After healing her subordinates, she summoned the director of the arena. It was indeed their negligence. He claimed to have already sent people to investigate. Qingtong stated that if it happened again, she would terminate her cooperation with the arena. As for finding the person, she didn't need their help. Qingtong walked to a tree and kicked it. A figure fell from the tree. She picked up a few stones and threw them to various spots in the courtyard. A series of screams followed. Qingtong spoke coldly, "All of you come out. Mingzuan's people have all left, yet you are so loyal." As the men walked over to Qingtong, "You should know about the matter between me and Mingzuan. My mansion was attacked. Why didn't you step in to stop it?" This made the men tremble with fear. They knelt on the ground and begged, "Lord Evil Doctor, spare our lives. Who dared to cause trouble in my mansion?" Qingtong questioned coldly. The man trembled. "It's the Chung family from the Shiri kingdom." Hearing this, Qingtong snorted coldly. A family from a high-ranking kingdom. No wonder they're so arrogant. It seems this evil doctor is a soft target. Any cat or dog dares to come and cause trouble. The arena manager's heart skipped a beat when he heard this. "Don't worry, evil doctor. I will immediately have the Black Jade City branch of the Shiri kingdom warn the Chung family. It will absolutely not happen again." He felt wronged inside. With your ambiguous relationship with Lord Zun, how could there be a next time? He then took those at the Wuho rank and above to go rescue the person. Chu Lingfeng wanted to follow, but was left behind. "You stay here honestly. I will bring Fengyu back for you." Inside a flying spiritual boat, a man was smiling obsequiously at Elder Lu. "With you accompanying us on this journey, I can rest assured." He even brought Elder Lu to his cell. "This is the person young Master Lin Jun wants." Suyu was bound by iron chains and locked in an iron cage. Suyu's eyes stared at him intently. This displeased the man. "Believe it or not, I'll gouge out your eyes." The man mocked that the Su family had long been annihilated. The once beautiful young Master Suyu was now a prisoner. The man laughed arrogantly. Suyu showed no reaction. A prisoner, yet still so defiant. "Do you want to know how the Su family was annihilated? Do you really think it was because you lost the border fortress?" These words shook Suyu. "What on earth are you talking about?" Seeing Suyu's reaction, the man smiled wickedly. "The Su family guarded the border for generations. Why did they make a mistake in such a crucial battle? Aren't you curious about the reason?" At this moment, Suyu struggled desperately. So is all they're doing. And Suyu's father, until his death, believed it was the Su family's mistake. The man was immensely satisfied with the effect he had achieved. Suyu wished he could tear the man before him to shreds. "When we get to the Chung family, there are even better things waiting for you." The man had just turned around when a voice said, "Is that so?" Qingtong appeared on the boat. "Unfortunately, you will never reach the Chung family, and you will never have this chance again. Villains always die from talking too much." Just a moment ago, he had a vicious look on his face. In the blink of an eye, his head was rolling on the ground. At Qingtong's arrival, Suyu was overjoyed. The man was fearless. In his eyes, Ching Tong was just a wandering swindler. Suyu's joy turned to fear. He urged Ching Tong to run, because he knew the strength of the Chung family best. Ching Tong snapped her fingers. Her people jumped onto the spiritual boat. The man laughed wildly. A few Wuho experts dare to cause trouble for my Chung family? Ching Tong stomped her foot and took out the life and death duality sword, looking at the mere six-stage Wuho before her. The man, oblivious to his impending doom, charged forward. The moment he threw a punch, Ching Tong vanished into an afterimage. The man was shocked and confused. With a whoosh, Ching Tong appeared behind him, a flash of sword light, and he became a headless corpse. The others were terrified. A Wuho expert had no power to fight back. But Ching Tong was now at the Wuwang realm. It was not just for show. She then sent out several sword flashes, and several people lost their lives. She struck at the last person. A protective barrier formed around the man, blocking the sword flash. I am at the peak of the Wuho realm. What can you do to me? The life and death duality sword quietly changed its form. The life blade absorbs souls and steals power. She struck the protective barrier again with the sword flash. A strange scene occurred. The energy of the protective barrier was absorbed into the sword. Then came the death blade form. Seeing that things were not looking good, the man hurriedly called for Elder Lu. The sword also pierced through the man's chest. Until his death, the man hoped that Elder Lu would intervene. Elder Lu stood aside without making a move, his eyes greedily fixed on the sword in Ching Tong's hand. Ching Tong mocked him. You want the sword in my hand? I'm afraid you don't have a life to take it. The man suddenly lunged to grab Ching Tong. Suyu shouted, Master, run. He is a Wuwang rank expert. He flashed to Ching Tong's side. A red light rushed towards her. Externalized Qi, a corporeal attack. A unique attack method of a Wuwang. Just as Suyu and the others were about to step forward, a gentle force suddenly pushed them away. A brilliant black light suddenly shot out. The two forces collided directly. A violent explosion echoed through the boat. Suyu looked up. Ching Tong stood before them, holding the death blade. How did the master do it? That sword is so powerful. Elder Lu fell into a frenzy. He had to get that sword. He took out his long sword. He sent out several sword flashes flying towards her. Ching Tong remained calm, swinging out a black flame sword flash. It collided with the sword flashes again, dissipating as it neared Ching Tong. Ching Tong's hand trembled. Although her state of mind had reached the Wuwang realm, her power was still at the Wujiang realm. Forcibly using the duality sword, that last blow had already exhausted her. The man couldn't believe it. This was all too strange. If this continued, he would be the one to lose. He circulated his spiritual power, and a flame shot up from his sword. He used his strongest move, Blazing Slash. Ching Tong's eyes were dangerous as she watched the incoming attack. This was no longer something she could block. Suddenly, Suyu looked at Ching Tong, directly pushed Ching Tong away. Ching Tong's pupils shrank. The moment that fool moved, Ching Tong grabbed Suyu's hand and spun around. The attack landed right beside them. A spray of blood mist burst from Suyu's body. The young girl desperately protected Ching Tong, her back a mangled mess of flesh and blood. Ching Tong picked up Suyu, the blood-red glint in her pupils brewing like a storm. Old dog, you're really courting death. The piggy is so cute, but now it's about to become a roasted suckling pig. He calls himself the ancient pig god, saying that even divine dragons and phoenixes must call him grandpa. But now he was so scared by the fireball that tears streamed down his face like two long rivers, and he hid beside Snowball. The fireball hit Snowball's ice wall. The ice wall quickly disintegrated. The stupid pig pushed Snowball away in an instant. This startled Ching Tong, who was relieved to see it was all right. The most urgent task was to restore her spiritual power as soon as possible. Elder Lu was startled by the sudden appearance of the two beasts. What are you things? But the stupid pig was there lecturing Snowball. I told you to absorb more of his stinky aura. Now you've embarrassed us. Ignored by the two beasts, Elder Lu was furious. A dangerous attack struck, causing things to collapse on Snowball. The stupid pig was so scared its face turned the color of pig liver. Snowball spat out a breath of cold air. It directly froze the man's feet. He lost his balance and took a miserable fall. The stupid pig laughed happily. This idiot, it's making Grandpa Pig laugh to death. The man got up again. Snowball hissed at him. Just as the stupid pig was waiting for the man to be defeated again, it saw that Snowball didn't even release a single ice flower. The aggrieved Snowball whimpered. So useless. Don't even say you hang out with Grandpa Pig. The man sneered endlessly. You dare to mock me? Go to hell. The stupid pig, with a cool expression, pushed Snowball aside. Wisps of purple spiritual energy emanated from its body. Looking again, Ching Tong had stood up at some point. A strange glint flashed through her demonic red pupils. She gripped the hilt of the Liangyi sword with both hands. Flame slash. It was the unique skill that Elder Lu had used. A dark red sword gleam flew towards the massive fireball. This made the man's jaw drop. The flame slash landed heavily on him, igniting a raging fire. The man was blasted directly out of the spirit boat. The spiritual power she had just recovered was instantly depleted. This was another essence of Ching Tong's technique. Perfect replication. The stupid pig, with the sleeping Snowball on its head, looked down from the spirit boat. It was directly scared out of its wits. Good heavens, this woman is terrifying. The man had already turned into a pool of blood. The Great Chu Holy Dynasty, Shiri Kingdom, Chung family. The Chung family head and Chung Linyun were sitting in the main hall. Suddenly, Chung Linyun was startled. The spirit boat's brand on his soul stone suddenly blurred. The Chung family head was stunned by his words. A servant, in a panic, ran into the hall. Family head, young master, something terrible has happened. Elder Lu's soul lamp has been extinguished. The man was furious. He slammed the table and stood up. An evil spawn of the Su family. How could she possibly kill Elder Lu? The servant looked nervous. He took out a letter from Black Jade. After reading the contents of the letter, he became even more furious. Damn it, Su Yu is actually a subordinate of the evil Dr. Ghostchild. And this evil doctor is an honored guest of Black Jade. If they provoked the Chung family again, he would be in big trouble. So I should just hand over my spirit boat like that? Chung Linyun couldn't swallow this insult. The man was full of unwillingness. The other party is protected by Black Jade. But Chung Linyun didn't care. Then let's hire the Supreme Assassin Pavilion to handle it. The Supreme Assassin Pavilion only kills. They don't ask for reasons, as long as you can afford the price. Meanwhile, inside Ming Zun Palace, Elder Yu looked at the injured Ming Zun. Tell me the truth. Has the master's injury been treated by someone? He had fallen into a coma and was brought home by his subordinates for treatment. Elder Yu was checking the man's pulse, but he was getting annoyed by Xiao Bei, chirping away. If you're so good, you treat him. Feng Yu pulled the worried Bei Qing aside. Only then could Elder Yu focus. Suddenly, Bei Qing's face flushed and his heart pounded as he dodged Feng Yu. This made Feng Yu's eyes fill with a gentle smile as he looked at Xiao Bei. Bei Qing felt a chill in his heart being watched by Feng Yu's smiling face. Ever since Feng Yu explained what was what to him, Xiao Bei had been avoiding him. This doesn't seem right. Elder Yu's surprised and doubtful voice made the two stop fooling around. Tell me the truth. Has an alchemist treated the master? The two of them said in unison that there hadn't been. Feng Yu answered affirmatively. At that time, the master was alone. This made Elder Yu prop up the master. His meridians were stable. The main meridian is even slowly repairing itself. Why would you hide it from me if there was such an alchemist treating him? Although he's only half cured, it's enough for the master. The strength of his main meridian has also increased a lot. If this continues, his life will no longer be in danger in the future. Xiao Bei was thrilled to hear this. Feng Yu's eyes couldn't hide his shock. Elder Yu was now displeased. Feng Yu quickly explained, Elder Yu, we really didn't know about this at the time. Otherwise, we wouldn't have rushed back to find you in a panic. Elder Yu listened to his explanation with a proud look. Once on Mount Jiwu, the master was treated by a young girl. Hearing this made Elder Yu even more interested. Because we weren't sure about the change in his injuries at the time, and we're in a hurry to find that girl, I didn't have time to tell you the details. Elder Yu let out a long breath. No wonder Young Ye's injuries this time were from an explosion of medicinal power. It turns out he was testing the strength and changes in his meridians. So what happened with this injury? We didn't find the person. Could it be a ghost who did it? Ming Zun, who had woken up at some point, said, it was a ghost who treated me. He was already very sure it was that woman. Elder Yu's hair stood on end in fear. After a few days of rest, Ming Zun made a full recovery. He was very dissatisfied with the results of the investigation. Feng Yu confessed that Xiao Lu was knocked out in the garden. That person disguised themselves and entered the bathhouse. The Biyu Tianxin that the master always carries with him was lost. Thinking of how this woman was as cunning as a fox, Ming Zun decided not to indulge her. Elder Yu was confused. It's a good thing his injuries have recovered. Why is young Yi so angry? Could it be that he was taken advantage of by that woman? After hearing this, Ming Zun's face darkened as he suppressed his anger. Remembering what happened in the bathhouse, his handsome face flushed with a hint of shyness. But that woman was truly audacious. He looked at the disrespectful old man. This venerable one thinks he needs a divine supplement. You should be thinking of elder you. He was startled by a sudden thought. I suddenly remembered I haven't fed the pig at home. He panicked and chose to slip away. He was teased by Qinghe and Feng Yu. Stealing the Bu Tianxin must be that you. Could it be that her eyes have recovered? Master, perhaps it's a secret technique. Otherwise, why would she come to steal the medicine? Reminded by Xiao Bei, Ming Zun figured everything out. Give the list of medicinal herbs collected by the bloody fighting pit to the evil doctor. Bring it to me. Thinking of Qing Tong's face. Stopping the two who were about to leave, Ming Zun picked up a brush and drew a picture on the paper. It was a handsome and elegant young man. Spread this painting to every corner of Black Jade. Report immediately if the person in the painting is found. A smile appeared on Ming Zun's face. Let's see where you can run this time. I treated you like a brother, but you made a move on me. After the last eavesdropping incident, Xiao Bei couldn't believe his ears. The master is having an affair with the evil doctor. A man and a man. This threw him into confusion. At that time, he asked Feng Yu. Feng Yu said he was still young and didn't understand the good things about it. This made Xiao Bei unconvinced. He was already 19 years old. What was there that he didn't understand? As time went by, the master was clearly looking for a girl, but now he drew a picture of a handsome young man. Feng Yu approached silently. I've indeed never seen the person in the painting. Xiao Bei jumped in fright. Why are you speaking so close to me? This is too weird. Feng Yu shed tears sorrowfully. Is this still the same Xiao Bei who was always calling him brother this and brother that, who wanted to sleep and bathe together? This made Xiao Bei's face turn red. The heartbroken Feng Yu. Has our little boat of friendship capsized just like that? This drove Xiao Bei crazy. You're still my dear brother. Can you not be so childish? Feng Yu, composed as ever, was still there. You haven't forgotten your brother Feng Yu, have you? He stroked his chin. Ever since I told you about things between men, you haven't developed some kind of idea about me, have you? Otherwise, why have you been afraid to be close to me lately? These words hit Xiao Bei right in the heart. I'm warding off evil. Do you understand warding off evil? To explain is to cover up. Those who know. He clamped a hand over Feng Yu's mouth, making him swallow his words. He put an arm around Feng Yu. Brother, let's hurry up and finish the task the master gave us. This one word, brother, made Feng Yu's heart bloom with joy. The two walked with their arms around each other's shoulders, discussing whether the master was a scumbag, looking for a girl one moment and a handsome young man the next. And Ming Zun, at this moment, had no idea he was being talked about. In the evening, Suyu woke up from her coma. Chu Lingfeng excitedly shouted, Master, Suyu is awake. Qing Tong came to the bedside and sat down. All the meridians in your body are broken. I will help you reconstruct them. Now your aptitude is completely different. Suyu was secretly shocked to hear this. All the meridians in her body were cleared, and her aura circulated endlessly. Even a martial king couldn't do that. Qing Tong said even more bluntly, compared to you, a martial king is just trash. You have a congenital body. Suyu understood that Qing Tong had not only saved her life, but had also completely changed her cultivation path. He felt he could never repay this kindness. I swear by the gods of my soul, in this life and the next, I will never betray my master. If I have any second thoughts, may heaven and earth strike me down. Suyu knelt on the ground. Master, I have one more request. Do you want to destroy the Chung family or the Shiri kingdom? Qing Tong helped him up. Her answer was not what he expected. I will personally avenge the Su family. Only endless despair and painful torture can comfort the souls of the Su family. Let me go to the chaotic lands of the extreme southern barren lands. I am willing to be the sword in my master's hand, to create a powerful force absolutely loyal to you, so that you will have no more worries. The extreme southern barren lands, that's a barren land that even the 4 great holy dynasties couldn't develop. Suyu requested to go. He was willing to dedicate everything to Qing Tong. Suyu's story deeply moved Qing Tong. All right, I agree. 1 second, the two beasts were sleeping soundly together. The next second one is on the stupid pigs, but in the study, Qing Tong finished packing everything for Suyu and gave him the storage ring and the king-grade cultivation method she got from Elder Lu. She picked up the sleeping snowball and handed it to Suyu. Let it grow and gain experience with you. The Guan Yu is dangerous and balanced. It can protect you at critical moments. While Snowball was still dazed, the deal was done. Hearing their conversation, Snowball struggled fiercely. Qing Tong didn't understand what was wrong. The stupid pig looked smug. He says he can't leave this great one. Why is he so clingy? It moved closer to Snowball. You're a big boy now. This great one can't take care of you every day. I'm not your mom. This made Snowball whimper and cry, tears quietly falling. The stupid pig turned its head, not looking at him. Suddenly, Snowball bit down hard on its body. A scream like a pig being slaughtered really came from the study. The tearful Snowball lay in Suyu's arms, while the little pig fumed on the side. Chu Lingfeng said he wanted to go with Suyu, but Suyu refused. Do you think we're going to play? You'd just be courting death. This made Chu Lingfeng unconvinced, thinking to himself that sooner or later he would prove he could protect her. One morning, Qing Tong sat in the main seat. The crowd was divided into two sides. One part would return to the Luo family with her. The other part would be responsible for staying behind. Those who are leaving with me, leave the city in batches now. As everyone left, Chu Lingfeng knelt on the ground. Master, please allow me to stay and Feiyu. I'm too weak. I can't protect the master. I want to become stronger so I can protect you all. I don't have any strengths, except that I'm not afraid of getting hurt. It's strange, but the more I get hit, the stronger I become. I want to stay and cultivate in the bloody fighting pit. Chu Lingfeng's words made her agree. In Ming Zun's study, the man gritted his teeth as he looked at the list of medicinal herbs in his hand. Good, you evil Dr. Ghost Child. Ming Zun was now burning with rage. You've deceived this venerable one time and again. This time, this venerable one will personally strip off your clothes. Did you think I wouldn't find it just because you hid it among a pile of strange medicinal herbs? Xiao Bei had never seen the master so angry. What shocked him even more was that he wanted to strip the evil doctor's clothes. The master has gone mad. Immediately prepare the spirit carriage to go to Dongli. In the Black Jade branch, Feng Yu suddenly knelt on the ground. Master, a scout reports that the evil doctor has left and her whereabouts are unknown. This news enraged Ming Zun. A bunch of good-for-nothings. Order all branches of Black Jade, the 36 Dao palaces, to do everything to track down the evil Dr. Ghost Child. If you can't find her, an extremely cold smile appeared. This venerable one will strip both of you and send you to the Di's Fong. The words Di's Fong made the two of them look like they were wearing Beijing opera masks. Don't worry, master. Your subordinate will do his best. Coming out of Ming Zun Palace, Xiao Bei couldn't wait to gossip. Who is so fierce that he wants to strip the evil doctor's clothes? Looking at the chattering little ghost beside him, just as he was about to tell him not to speak nonsense, a bone-chilling, killing intent drifted past. Bei Qing, how about you go to the Di's Fong right now? Xiao Bei collapsed to the ground with a look of utter terror. Strip him and throw him into the Di's Fong. Don't let him out without my order. To help his granddaughter break off the engagement, the old man was not only humiliated by the vicious princess, but the Luo family was also suppressed at every turn. Qing Tong heard the crowd's discussions. She didn't expect the Tianyu imperial family to be so shameless. She called over a waiter to ask about the Luo family situation. Taking the silver fragments he was handed, the waiter talked endlessly. Ever since old Master Luo returned from the Tianyu Empire, not only was he covered in injuries, the Luo family was also reprimanded and insulted by the Dongli royal family. And everything the Tianyu Empire did was just to prevent the engagement from being broken. They were determined to have Miss Luo Jia marry into the imperial family. After listening, Qing Tong got up and left. Before leaving, she gave the waiter more silver fragments and told him not to spread the word. Arriving deep in the forest, she ordered everyone to take the spirit boat to the Luo family to protect old Master Luo's safety. As for herself, she vanished in a flash. She wouldn't let a single person who dared to harm her family get away. Meanwhile, Ming Zun thought of the conversation between Xiao Bei and the other. I like that woman. This venerable one doesn't like her at all. He didn't even notice that when he mentioned Qing Tong, there was gritted teeth, there was shame and anger, but the one thing missing was killing intent and murderous aura. If it were anyone else, let alone taking advantage of him, they would die just for touching him. He quickly denied it. If this counts as liking someone, then he definitely doesn't like her. Damn woman, you've taken advantage of me time and time again. When I catch you, this venerable one will pay you back double. After a long while, Feng Yu came to report on the suspect. Her movements are strange and secretive, impossible to trace. Even the people in her residence don't know where she went. Hearing this, the man said coldly, "It seems you want to go too." Never mind. These words scared Feng Yu. The news from the Tianyu Empire is false, but it has value. Your subordinate thinks it's worth investigating. This angered Ming Zun. Prepare the spirit carriage. We're going to the Tianyu Empire immediately. Feng Yu breathed a sigh of relief. This search will require manpower. Can I call Xiao Bei? After getting Ming Zun's permission, Feng Yu went to the D's Fong. Zhuofei, you bastard. You hit my butt today. You dare hit me again? This left Feng Yu, who was outside the door, dumbfounded. Xiao Bei was currently getting beaten black and blue by people who were neither male nor female. Feng Yu pushed the door open and saw Xiao Bei striking a pose. A smile appeared on his face. He went forward to support Xiao Bei and correct his posture. His hand on Xiao Bei's waist, he pressed down. This part needs to sink down, you see. This made Xiao Bei's face flush red. Seeing the suddenly appeared Feng Yu and Zhuofei, he was even more confused. My eyes, what are these two doing? The posturing Xiao Bei saw their strange expressions and was about to curse them out. Feng Yu stopped him with a smile. Master has a message for you. Come with us to the Tianyu Empire. Hearing this, Xiao Bei was thrilled. He ripped his clothes. Great, let's go. This made Feng Yu have a nosebleed. At this moment, Qing Tong was in the Tianyu Empire drinking tea in a tea house. Master, how are you planning to deal with the Tianyu imperial family? Ever since the spirit boat incident, he had gained a lot of benefits. Now he wished he could stir up trouble every day. Qing Tong said if they were going to cause trouble, they should make it hurt. They were still plotting. Suddenly, the tea house became lively. Look, it's like a celestial being has descended. What a handsome man. This made them turn to look at the source. One look was fine, but a second look nearly scared them to death. Ming Zun had appeared in the tea house at some point. Woman, you're playing with fire and delivering yourself to my door. Will the male lead? Let her go this time? Qing Tong saw Ming Zun appear and spat out a waterfall of tea. The stupid pig was stunned. She turned her head, not looking at him. The stupid pig's fat body trembled with fear. What a fateful connection. We run into him wherever we go. Why don't you just give in to him? Qing Tong wished she could rip its legs off. Don't be a coward. He only knows you as the evil Dr. Ghostchild, not the one from Mount Jiawu. Don't forget, you were blind at that time. This made Qing Tong pause. That's right. She couldn't help but smile. Why don't I go mess with him? The stupid pig broke out in a cold sweat at this thought. Pork is quite expensive. I'm out of here. Qing Tong secretly sized him up. He's traveling in disguise, probably afraid of being recognized. Then can I also pretend not to know him? After all, the injuries on his body are too strange. There's no challenge. Within her sea of consciousness, the stupid pig was so scared by her thoughts it didn't dare to breathe. Woman, you're playing with fire. A smile appeared on Qing Tong's face. The dull bronze color of her eyes returned to a vibrant green. She placed a hand on the man's shoulder. Brother, your temperament is extraordinary. I admire you greatly. I wonder if I could share a table and a drink with you. Qing Tong's words made Ming Zun's eyes deepen. The trembling of his palm revealed the man's inner turmoil at this moment. The corners of his mouth curved up wildly. He wished he could grab this woman right now. Suddenly, a hand grabbed the woman's hand. The man looked at her. All right, then let's share a table and a drink. Her hand was held tightly by the man, unable to move. Could this man really be? A chill shot straight to her head. All right, then I'll sit here. The man still didn't let go of her hand. The man's gaze made her hair stand on end. She just felt that something was strange. Why aren't you running? The man was a little confused. His words confused Qing Tong. Run from what? I just got here. Could this man have discovered something? Hearing Qing Tong's reply, he let go of her hand. Qing Tong sat down, feeling increasingly uneasy. You just said you admire me. That's right. For a divine figure like you, brother, I think anyone would feel admiration. She pointed to the blushing young women nearby. So it was because of admiration that she couldn't help but tease this venerable one time and again. And she admits it without any cover-up. If it's this woman, as long as she doesn't run, this venerable one will allow her to stay by my side. Qing Tong was now a bit flustered. What is he thinking? No, I should slip away. Yi Qinming. My name. He raised his wine cup. These words made Qing Tong secretly relieved. I don't believe it. The two drank together. Brother Yi to you. It seems I was overthinking things. I shouldn't scare myself. In Yi Qianming's eyes, her caution became bashfulness. She kept running away before because she was afraid this venerable one would be displeased. If that's the case, so what? If you say it, this venerable one will forgive you. My name is Xie Tong. Brother, you can just call me Xiao Tong. This angered the man, still daring to use a fake name. I've already investigated your entire background. Slightly displeased. Xie Tong, your name is truly peculiar. Qing Tong was confused. All of Black Jade is searching for you, the evil Dr. Ghost Child. You don't know? Qing Tong spat out the wine she had just drunk. Could it be him looking for me? Didn't I make him dispel his doubts? Could there be someone else? He quickly laughed it off. I wonder what brings Brother Yi to the Tianyu Empire? Yi Qianming looked at Qing Tong with a wicked smile. Of course, to catch someone. The man, in order to make her reveal her true form, did not hesitate to get the woman drunk and do improper things. Hearing that Yi Qianming was here to catch someone, Qing Tong shivered. Friend, let's drink. Didn't you specifically come to drink with me? Hearing this, Qing Tong dispelled her doubts. If he was here to catch her, he would have made a move by now. I must be overthinking it. Yi Qianming poured cup after cup, making Qing Tong break out in a cold sweat. This venerable one wants to see how long your eyes can last. Qing Tong accepted every drink offered. After a long time, Qing Tong was slightly drunk. Being this drunk, she looked rather attractive. When Yi Qianming raised his cup again, Qing Tong waved her hands in refusal. Her purpose for this trip was to check his pulse. After Yi Qianming heard this, he extended his arm. So you were concerned about my injury. She really does like me. As their skin touched, Yi Qianming's body couldn't help but tremble. He felt a strange sensation in his heart. Yi Qianming's face grew hot, and he turned his head away. My heart seems to be beating a little fast. This lecherous woman is touching me on purpose. Qing Tong quietly activated her pupil technique. As expected, it was the same as before, fragile as a snake. His body strength was a question mark. Even the pupil technique couldn't identify it. What a terrifying and strange existence. He, who was naturally averse to being touched, not only felt no disgust at this moment, but actually had a strange feeling. Qing Tong couldn't understand why the more she investigated his inner foundation. Yi Qianming asked how the injury was. Qing Tong said it was no problem, but she was angry inside that it was another fruitless effort. Her eyes couldn't hold on much longer. She had to leave quickly. Just as Qing Tong was about to take her leave, the man became slightly angry. This woman wants to run again. He slapped a hand on Qing Tong's shoulder. We agreed to drink until we drop. Was your admiration for me all fake? What the hell is going on? He won't let me leave. She could only say that her old mother hen wasn't fed, but the man saw through her. Your eyes can't maintain the disguise. Then this venerable one will sit and wait for you to expose yourself. Since we hit it off so well, I'll go with you. Qing Tong now understood. She had been exposed. He was so calm and composed, yet she had foolishly delivered herself to his door. Seeing Qing Tong's expression, Yi Qianming felt pleased. She suddenly clutched her stomach. I have an urgent need to relieve myself. The corner of Yi Qianming's mouth curled up. It's fine. I'll have Bei accompany you. What the hell? I need an escort to go to the restroom. Yi Qianming suddenly stood up. Since Tong doesn't like it, then I'll personally accompany you. This scared Qing Tong, who could only look at Bei Qing. Then I'll have to trouble you, little brother. Bei Qing patted his chest and said, don't worry. I'll definitely keep a close eye on him. Yi Qianming was amused. Let's see how you get away this time. After a long while, he was still a bit anxious. Feng Yu advised, Master, don't worry. Don't scare your friend away. It'll be hard to get close in the future. Suddenly, Yi Qianming crushed the wine cup in his hand. Tong had returned, with his arm around Bei Qing. Yi Qianming's eyes were icy. Why did he feel the urge to chop off the arm on Bei Qing's shoulder? She pulled Yi Qianming up. I'll take you to a place to meet some friends. Yi Qianming was taken aback by this sudden action. When they arrived at the door of a room, Yi Qianming suddenly had a bad feeling. A group of burly men rushed towards him. He was stunned by the scene. What followed was an explosion of killing intent. Get lost. When he turned to look for Qing Tong, she was already long gone. The female lead has screwed over the male lead again and again and again. Hearing the explosion behind him, the man is very angry, and the consequences will be severe. The stupid pig was even more scared. Sooner or later, she'll get both master and servant into trouble. Qing Tong's lips twitched. It was just an accident. Then she told it to take out all the storage rings. Each one could hold several hundred bottles. girls. The stupid pig didn't understand why she needed so many. Qing Tong's face was mischievous. Of course, we're going on a robbery. Yi Qianming was furious to the extreme. Xie Tong, you're that desperate to get rid of me? Was all that talk of admiration fake? Bei Qing and the other rushed over at the sound. Master, what happened? Yi Qianming was also helpless. I was tricked by that woman again. When this venerable one catches her, I definitely will. The words filled with anger instantly turned into a whimper. But Xiao Bei was furious. We must cut him into 8 pieces and torture him well. These words made Yi Qianming even more furious. How can you treat her like that? This venerable one will absolutely not allow it. Bei Qing instantly felt something was wrong. Could it be that the master is reluctant? Yi Qianming's furious emotions suddenly subsided. The conversation between Bei Qing and the other flashed through his mind. Does the master like the evil doctor? He thought of that woman's nimble feet. She looked so unrestrained and wicked. He thought of her rich and lively temper whenever she met him. Is being reluctant the same as liking someone? That thought just now was deeply imprinted in his heart. He just likes that woman. Bei Qing was shocked. Master, you like? Feng Yu quickly covered his big mouth. If you cause trouble now, you'll really die. Xiao Bei, with his mouth covered, whimpered. Yi Qianming returned from his thoughts. So this is what liking someone is, right? Feng Yu said frankly, if a person can affect your emotions and you don't dislike anything they do, Feng Yu thinks that's liking someone. After he finished, he looked at Bei Qing. Yi Qianming suddenly had an epiphany. Then I must have that woman. She was the one who provoked him first. In that case, she must bear the consequences. We're leaving. Now that he understood his own heart, he would not let her escape. Late at night, in the Diyuan Hall of the Tianyu Imperial Palace, Qing Tong suddenly appeared in front of a door. She circulated her hong hong and easily broke open the main door. She went all the way into the treasury. Qing Tong was clearly surprised. She didn't expect the Tianyu imperial family to be so cautious. They even set up an energy lock made with a special energy. Only those with imperial blood could automatically unlock it. Just when the stupid pig